What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. It is a beautiful, balmy Sunday afternoon in March, and we're live with the T5S2 Pod 8 Finals between two players who have not put their name tags in the score sheet yet. Oh my gosh, chat! Just pure unprofessionalism over here. Over here in the blue. Let's start with the blue. A little uncharacteristically, we've actually kind of swapped our primary colors here. Over here in the blue, we have Roboshark playing World Eaters. Roboshark is a unstoppable tournament grinder. Has yet to make it to too many finals games, but is giving it the good old college try today with these brand new faction. Brand shiny new. Coming off the boat, these World Eaters. Gonna see if we can play some melee games, get a bunch of secondary objective points, and just crush your opponent out of being able to win. Versus over here in the red, again, a blue army in the red player spot. This is Prospero, a player we have seen many times in the finals match, playing Aeldari. This is a Hail of Doom Aeldari build, and the players are actually going through their lists right now. We are pre-game right now, chat. So let's go ahead and listen into what they're saying.
Teleports whenever he shoots, and Osterman is the one that has a 3-up invul save.
We played a lot of Baharoth, and I still somehow managed to get him killed.
He does die, despite, all the rules in existence. That's me. Trying to think of anything I'm forgetting. I think that's it.
Yeah, I was fairly familiar with Hail of Doom. I tried running it at a GT, lost the first 2 rounds, then dropped.
It can be stressful, I'll tell you that.
Lapscallion with a watch streak. I don't know if that shows up in the chat, everybody, but I just got a notification. Lapscallion has watched 3 consecutive streams in a row. Proud of you, buddy. Thank you, Lapscallion. Thanks for being a repeat viewer of Tactical Tortoise. Smadix, by the way, with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you for. It was nice to see you over the weekend, by the way. We were in an RTT together. How's it going, everybody? Setch Dresscar, what's up? Warp Wanderers in chat. 12,000 points in the prediction. By the way, predictions up, chat. You can bid your channel tokens if you like. 12,000 points on Eldar already. Hot diggity damn. I know Eldar are pretty strong right now. We will see if they're able to take down the new and improved World Eaters. I do think that they're probably slightly advantaged in the matchup, and it may come down to player skill, and Zank is an incredibly strong player. Although, to be fair, I have not actually seen Roboshark play World Eaters, so I don't know if he is a fiend with them. Clearly, both these players are 3-0 currently in this event, so they're doing something right, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. You said you have no infiltrators, right?
Nope, just the pregame move.
Looks like we are rolling Attacker-Defender now. We're also on Conversion today, chat. So 5 objectives on the table. And I actually think this is going to be pretty useful for Death Guard. An interesting thing about Death Guard, we are playing the World Eaters proper sub-faction, led by Lord Invocatus. And Lord Invocatus' Warlord trait allows 3 units, himself and 2 core units, which is typically 2 8-bound squads. So oftentimes you'll see World Eaters lists build out 2 big units of 8-bound. And I think we have 3 big units of 8-bound, yeah. So you'll see 2 units of like 5 or 6 8-bound, and those will be alongside Lord Invocatus. The last one can start in Strategic Reserve, and they can actually Strategic Reserve in the first turn. So 8-bound are really the first line of offense. No, I won't say defense for World Eaters. The first line of offense for the army. And the interesting thing, despite the fact that Zach over here has a ton of forward table presence, well, a little bit. Yeah, he does have a lot. He has Shroud Runners and he has Rangers. Those units are typically, pushed up ahead of the army to prevent alpha strikes from things like pregame moves and turn 1 deep strikes. You, unfortunately, do not get that all against Lord Invocatus. Lord Invocatus' pregame move cannot be screened. So what we may see is the World Eaters, this Roboshark, actually use that. Just make sure my telestrator's working here, chat.
And I like having this big dice for my blood.
Use that to push units into the side objectives here. World Eaters always have a strong offense down the middle. So because he has Khorne Berserkers, he has Exalted 8-bound, he has all these other units, plus these Smash characters that are incredibly strong. And Jackals. Even just Jackals are very good at killing, especially like Eldar profiles. They're just fine. They have a ton of strength 3 attacks. 4 attacks at strength 4, AP 1 on the charge apiece for each of these Jackal units, which is crazy for what is otherwise just a trash light infantry unit. They can fight with Eldar like the best of them, but then they also get this like little boost of power that they can use to just try to hold out on the sides of the table. But normally these 5 objective missions with 1 in the center are going to be strong for World Eaters. Now this objective is a little weak though, but and I think it depends a lot on if Prospero is able to go first, and if Prospero can put enough pressure down on that side to keep World Eaters basically to 2 objectives, then Prospero kind of pushes around the side with the superior maneuverability of Aeldari. We'll have to see how it goes.
At the start of the turn, if a unit started on an objective and then dies, I will get 1 point for every objective. Yeah. So if I start an objective, leave, and then die, I will drown. That objective would have been drowned in blood. Which I think is
lost an objective, and then my turn starts, and I kill them. That counts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not battle round. It's turn.
Yeah, it's turn.
Turn. Yep.
And then blood for the blood god. 1 point for every unit that dies. 2 points if it's a monster, character, vehicle.
Neat. Kill. And then conversion. I think it's just in the middle, right? Score 4 if you own your deployment zone. At the end of each player's turn. So score 2 if you roll at least 1. If you roll 1 or more, and then you lose 1 if you don't control your own at the end of your player turn, which seems hard to do, but could happen.
Right.
Yeah, so players discussing the tertiary objective there. It's basically an automatic 2 points apiece for conversion. There's some additional riders on it. If you really table your opponent and hold their deployment zone objective at the end of your turn, then you get a big glut of primary objective points. But most of the time, if you've done that, you've won the game already. So you're just winning by more. The other thing to keep in mind here is that the players will actually have a reduction on their Battleforge CP if their Warlord is destroyed this game. And for the World Eaters, that could be dangerous because Lord Avocatus, Invocatus, I almost called him Lord Avocado. That's his nickname. Should we just lock in Lord Avocado, chat? Invocatus is fine. I'll say it, but Avocado is much funnier. That's up to you. That's up to you, folks in the chat. But Lord Lord Invocatus. He's got a big sword. He's got a big axe. He's 7 attacks, 8 on the charge. Goes up to strength 7, AP 3/2 damage. Like, this guy will clip a unit of Eldar jet bikes if he touches them. So he wants to get up close and personal, but he's not the hardest thing in the world to kill. He doesn't really have any defensive technology. So if he goes down, that could actually really disrupt World Eaters' CP regeneration. And if that happens, like, World Eaters have a lot of defensive effects that they want to use. Most notably, I think they can get well, a lot of them actually aren't that useful in this particular matchup because the World Eaters aren't running a lot of Berserkers. Oh, we are, actually. We do have 4 units of Berserkers in the Rhinos. Okay, so yeah, we can use things like moving the Berserkers after they've lost models. We can use things like fighting on death if Prospero ever gets to melee with units like Behareth or Azermen. So there's a lot of kind of interrupty stratagems that you can use with these World Eaters infantry. And if you lose your CP because Invocatus dies, then that could be unfortunate for you. All right, let's take a quick read through the players' lists here, chat. I don't know if either of them are particularly shocking. For World Eaters, we are in the World Eaters sub-faction proper. So that unlocks a non-Angron Warlord from being the Warlord. So Invocatus as the only HQ choice, 2 units of 10 Jackals, 4 units of Khorne Berserkers, of 5 apiece with their icons, 3 units of 5 8-bound, 3 units of 3 Exalted 8-bound, 2 Chaos Spawn, and 2 Chaos Rhinos. Now the difference between Exalted 8-bound and 8-bound is actually really interesting, because the Exalted 8-bound, they do hit a little bit harder. They have more impressive melee profiles, although they have less attacks. Because the standard 8-bound get additional attacks from their melee weapons. So the standard 8-bound actually rocking 7 attacks on the charge. The Exalted 8-bound only 6, I think. So less attacks, but at a higher weapon skill. However, the Exalted 8-bound lose the core keyword. And unfortunately for them, most, if not all, stratagems for World Eaters, at least the useful stratagems. There are a couple, I think, that are locked to 8-bound in general, but most of them are locked to Exalted 8-bound. Or locked to Core, excuse me. Which means the Exalted 8-bound do not get access to them. So they cannot, for example, fight on death, which is a big deal for those guys. So they're actually a little bit of a downgrade from the normal 8-bound. But it's having 8-bound is better than not having 8-bound. So in the, you know, if you're going to take something, you're going to take them. We then have 2 Chaos Spawn. Chaos Spawn are great. For 25 points, you get a kind of hard to kill single entity unit who is really good at screening, good at holding objectives, performing objective actions that it's allowed to do. And then the additional benefit of taking these small kind of MSU units in World Eaters is that you score blood tithe points when they're killed. So even if you're just using them to harass your opponent, fight, like trash infantry, contest objectives, your opponent's still incentivized to kill them, and you basically lose nothing. Like these units are almost free. They're 25 points for a single spawn. But you do gain blood tithe points that you can use them to buff the entire rest of your army. That goes the same for the 2 Chaos Rhinos in the list. These things are just going to be projecting these Khorne Berserkers up to the middle of the table. They're going to push super far forward. Zach's going to have to, or excuse me, Prospero's going to have to kill the Rhino, disembark the occupant, and then kill them. Hopefully not in the charge phase, because killing them in the charge phase gives Roboshark the opportunity to use those interruptee stratagems on him. So while we do have like Behareth and Asherman, the Phoenix Lords over here, who are very good at killing Khorne Berserkers, they could probably go in and kill 5 Khorne Berserkers in melee. Those Khorne Berserkers will phase cap, if not kill, the Phoenix Lords, depending on how much damage they've taken already. And that's not really what you want to be doing. So you have to basically, you know, be confident you can kill one of those in the psychic phase and then open the occupants up to shooting, or kill them and then all the occupants in the shooting phase. And that's, most armies are not going to be able to do that. Now, Hail of Doom Aeldari is a little bit different. Their shooting attacks are, especially once you get into the 18-inch range band, get extremely strong. So might not be quite the same issue. All right, moving on, we can talk about the Hail of Doom Aeldari list. So Hail of Doom giving automatic wounds on hit rolls of 6 with shuriken weapons only. Yeah, so we have Asherman and Behareth being placed right in the front here. So these guys are going to try to take the charge. If the World Eaters go first, they're going to, you know, push 2 units of 8-bound directly right through the middle of the table. Might run a unit off to the side here, as we discussed earlier. But then they get to a movement buff from Lord Invocatus, then they get to move normally, then they get to charge. So they can threaten the majority of the Eldar deployment zone. So what Prospero is going to try to do here is block off as much real estate, movement real estate as possible with these units that they literally cannot kill in one fight phase. There is no way for an 8-bound unit to kill a Phoenix Lord, full stop. Because they have a phase cap and no way to ignore it, and the 8-bound only operate in the fight phase. In fact, basically the entire unit, the entire army only operates in the fight phase. But we are seeing a little bit of a shift in World Eaters. This list isn't quite representative of that, but some World Eaters lists are bringing Chaos Knights. Some of them are bringing some Forge World units. We're seeing some Rapier Carriers see play in World Eaters in order to give them that little bit of a ranged punch. So your opponent can't literally just do this, basically. It's like, get out of here. You can't kill me. Screening is a big problem for World Eaters right now if they're not teching for ranged attacks. So yeah, placing these guys pretty far forward. Now, the Shroud Runners do get a pregame move as well. The difference is that the Shroud Gunner's pregame move is screenable, so it's going to be dependent on who's taking the first turn, how effective the Shroud Runner's ability to prevent movement is. But then I imagine we'll also see the Rangers placed very aggressively as well. You can't sort of mechanically screen the Invocatus Road of 8 Bloody Steps pregame move, but you can physically block them from moving. So if you just place the Rangers directly in front of the 8-bound, who are going to be targeted with it, then those 8-bound can't move quite as far. It doesn't stop them entirely, but it does rob them of a couple inches of movement. And that can oftentimes be enough to prevent them from alpha striking you on the first turn. You do have to give up your Rangers for Prospero. He is taking Scout the enemy. So that is a big loss if you end up losing the Rangers immediately. Please don't start their clocks.
I guess I'll move it again before I forget.
You guys start the clock if you're on deployment, sorry.
Oh no.
I knew about it.
You're having so much fun.
This is a long deployment step right now. We're measuring a lot of things. We should probably time that.
That's fine.
Lord Avocado is locked in, chat. All right, that's that's what we're doing. I'll just start every stream with a little explanation, and then he's just Lord Avocado now forever. It's so easy to say. Avocado is one of the greatest words in the English language, I think. It just rolls off the tongue. Avocado, avocado, avocado. I love it.
You won't put on my time.
Invocatus is a little bit tougher. Too many consonants. You know what I'm saying? Too many hard edges on that word, which is appropriate for a guy who's literally like riding a chainsword, I guess. But how many avocados could you slice with that, though? You know, a lot. This man is an avocado slicing machine. I bet he makes a mean guac. It's flavored with like, you know, some elegantly selected spices and the gore of his enemies. Cellar door is very pleasing to the ear. Is it? I don't know if I've ever liked the word cellar. I think it's because it's spelled salar, but we don't say that. We say cellar, which kind of doesn't jive with me. I don't know. The blood and lime. Gross.
24-inch range.
Oh, I'm imagining a nice brown guacamole. Like you got the green avocado and then the crimson of your enemy's ichor. Oh boy. No salsa, no chunky salsa in this one, I guess. It's just chunks of human and Xenos flesh. It's true. Is it true, actually? Is there any non-red blood in 40k?
Exalted 8-pound.
Do orcs bleed green? I think they did on the old Space Wolves cover, right? Oh my god. I'm sorry. I think the 3rd edition Space Wolves cover, they had an orc who was bleeding.
I have trouble figuring out what to do.
Why am I looking this up? This is stupid.
Just forget to do what my 3rd squad of 8-pound.
Oh, it's like
It's
indeterminate. Maybe xenobiology would help me. We should dig that book out. What a wild book that was. Remember when Games Workshop could release books like xenobiology? People would buy them. Oh, no, it's definitely red on that. No, orcs bleed red. Got wrecked. Ripperonis, yeah.
Back over to you.
I'm trying to open the image here, chat. Here it is. Look at this. This is crimson red blood right here. Got him.
This is the important part. So this is also why I also turn these guys to 3. Squad of 3.
Nurgle, Matt, you want to come into the voice channel? I do mute on Discord. I can't do commentary through Discord.
Up here without to do some awkward finagling.
Finagle away.
We'd have to call through some other means.
Will get stuck.
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing, chat. My windows keep popping up in front of me. What the fuck? All right, this is too complicated.
All right,
sorry.
Sounds great.
Over to you.
And I will deploy a warlock. Line over here.
I was like, how was deploying all weekend? I'm like, here's a Custodes character. Here's another Custodes character.
A lot of random garbage.
Yeah. He was basically feeding me berry and acid.
Yeah, it's mostly my Steam library is not that interesting. It's all shooters and Warhammer games, unfortunately for y'all.
He's mostly fast.
Yeah. Download the bikers so I know where they're going. Get Lord Avo Delicious up here.
Oh, so delicious. So tasty.
think we will. I think the idea is just go.
So I like this pressure. We have one Rhino at the top here for Roboshark. Gonna be able to threaten anything that gets to the top left objective. Even if Roboshark takes the first turn, which I think World Leaders are heavily favored if they do. The World Leaders tend to have a little bit of work energy with them. Where going first allows them to place the Rhinos in the middle of the table. They can pregame move 2 units into you. Even if they don't charge you, they just put so much pressure on you that you have to kill two units of 8 bound. If you don't, they kill you. If you do kill them, but you don't kill the Rhinos, the Berserkers kill you. If you do kill the Rhinos and the 8 bound, you have to then kill the Berserkers, otherwise the Berserkers still kill you. And then on top of that, you have to deal with a late game anchor of really powerful chaff infantry and exalted 8-bounding characters. Now, obviously, the downside is that if the World Leaders go second, they can't put the 8-bound in as aggressive a position without losing them. So they have to choose whether they let you shoot the 8-bound or they just lose their Chaos Rhinos, and those Berserkers get stranded on the table. Significantly less good for them. Now, they do have extremely strong secondaries. We do have all the World Leader secondaries getting picked here. So we can take a quick look at those. Okay. Pile of the Skulls is an interesting one. It lets, at the end of the battle round, the World Leaders player pay Blood Tithe points. So those are the points that are generated for them every time any unit on either side of the table gets killed. Not just World Eaters units, not just enemy units. You get additional Blood Tithe points if vehicles or vehicle character monsters are killed as well. You get an additional one at the end of the turn, or at the end of the phase, excuse me, if one or more of those is destroyed. So even if Roboshark loses these Rhinos, he's still generating Blood Tithe points off of them, and each of those Blood Tithe points can turn into 2 victory points at the end of any battle round. So if Roboshark is able to generate points consistently over the course of the game, then he's just going to basically be able to spend 8 Blood Tithe points and max out Blood God's Due easily. Blood for the Blood God. I believe just scores for destroying units in melee, which is basically that is one of the reasons that we are pushing so hard for melee attacks in the World Eaters army. It's not like ranged attacks are bad. I mean, the ranged attacks aren't great. They don't really have any support for them, but they have solid ranged attackers available to them if they push a little hard. But they also do not score that secondary. It's 2 points, I believe, if the for each unit destroyed in melee there for the World Eaters. I'm just going to verify that. And then last but not least, Blood God's Due is an interesting one. That scores a victory point at the end of each turn, not each round, each turn, for each objective marker that had a unit that destroyed on it effectively. A unit that started the turn on the objective marker that was then destroyed. Later in that turn, you will get a victory point for that objective marker. So it's if you destroy 4 units on one objective marker, it doesn't continue to stack. But if you kill units over the breadth of the table, then you will score out pretty heavily on it. Now it is a little tough to score out. You do need to get basically 3 objectives 5 times to max it, or I guess 2 objectives 8 times. Just about, which is a little tough. In a game where there's only 10 player turns, having to score a lot of points in the majority of them is awkward. Especially since Zach's doing a good job here. Excuse me, Prospero's doing a good job here of not putting his units on the objectives. If he had placed his Rangers on the objectives here at the start of Roboshark's turn, if Roboshark goes first, and Zach loses those Rangers, he gives up Blood for the Blood God points, and then he also gives up that Blood God's Due. But right now, he's just going to give up Blood for the Blood God. And not even that many. Losing a unit, that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme.
Okay. Alright, and that'll be it for me.
Blood for the Blood God, scores 2 VP for monster vehicle or character, 1 VP for each other unit destroyed by a melee attack, up to 4 per battle round. So you do have to max it in effectively 4 battle rounds, which is a little tough. But it's doable for sure. It is interesting that we've gone all 3 World Eaters. I'm a little bit worried about that Blood for the Blood God. I think that maybe taking a more passive secondary. I think in this mission style, engage in all fronts is actually pretty strong for the World Eaters. They just have to be in 3 table quarters to get 2 points, and they don't have to do anything else. Just be outside 6 inches of the table edge, which I'm sure we're going to do for units like these 8-bound, this Rhino, these Jackals can all push this way. There's a lot of units going to be pushing this way. And the ability to score that is pretty easy, especially if you're forcing Prospero to screen by taking things like strategic reserves.
Like if I pregame move here and then I can't move that way.
This is the farthest they can go to 11. And then like 2, 11, 12, 13, and then they have 7, 8, 9 left. So they end pretty much right at this building right here. And then they can charge a maximum of 12. But that should be the furthest they could charge, right? Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we'll deploy behind that. Twice.
Prospero just carefully ensuring he isn't obliterated by 8-bound on the top of the first turn. He's gonna be have to make some interesting stuff happen on the first turn if he does go second, but at least he's not gonna just die.
Yeah, these bikes right behind them.
I'm gonna warn you a little
Good to go?
here, chat, before we get started into things. I do have some stuff going on in the background, so I may be in and out a little bit. I may just leave you with the player mics a couple times this game.
Yep.
May the blood god be with you. I, of course, been killing it.
Corn be with me. Yes.
Oh, no.
Oop, and that is World Eaters going first. So big advantage bar swing to World Eaters right there. And we're off. Roboshark's first turn. So let's see some pregame moves happen.
All right.
I'll grab my fake dice here.
Okay. Yeah, yes, your fate dice. So 6 CP. So pregame moves the 2 8-bound. So it is a little frustrating that Barry is over there. I can't really charge anything. I feel like the move.
Oh, I guess, do we roll off to see who pregames moves first? I also have a pregame move.
I believe Arcs of Omen says first player does their pregame thing first.
Unless,
if Trevi wants to chime in and say that I'm wrong, which I probably am.
I'll treat silence as approval.
Oh yeah, that is correct. Okay. The order,
yeah. Yay! I read. I know how to read.
That is
whoops.
That is a unique skill in the 40K.
We're basically going. It's right there.
No Angron today,
so
chats.
I think the thing
Angron actually not played super widely in World Eaters right now, which is a little bit unfortunate. You see him about, I don't know, he's maybe 30% of the time you see an Angron. I would say he's largely pretty good, but not phenomenal. I think that this style of list that we're seeing right here that focuses on classic World Eaters, excuse me. I wonder how many times I'm going to do that tonight. Classic World Eaters, not Disciples of the Red Angel, is probably a little bit more consistent. You do get the big benefit going first, but you also you aren't, sort of anchored to this big dude. Who gets shot to death and has to eat your blood tide points to come back.
Kill. It seems like a huge waste to just kill some rangers, but I think if I somehow get lucky and don't completely murderize them.
So I might try to pull punches here with these 8-bound. This is a situation where back in the day in 8th edition, the glory days of 8th edition, you would put your weapons away and make close combat attacks on them.
Yeah, so that'd be my pregame move.
In order to try to keep them in melee. So we're going to see if we phantasm.
I have these Shroud Runners. And they need to flee. Where do they want
Shroud
to
Runners
flee?
not body blocking any charges.
Oh yeah, I'm also Imagatus will pregame move, so he gets 12.
Is he a beast?
He flies. For whatever reason, he flies.
Yeah.
He fly?
Can confirm.
That's wild.
Yeah, he freaking flies.
That is absolute. I'm blown away by this.
It's like a unicorn that runs on the rainbow, except for a rainbow, it's blood.
One of those blood rainbows, right? These guys.
Instead of a unicorn, it's an angry robot rhino.
Classic blood rainbows.
Right here.
Bloody
So if they move
rainbow.
their 11
Whoa.
there, can I get to those guys?
Let me line them up here.
That seems unlikely.
Oh, no,
You
too
get
far
wire
away.
weave grenaded, my guy. You get blown up by that. No way. Now we could maybe see the
So is that all your pregame?
Yeah, I just have
the World Eaters
one.
try to lock
Oh,
in
just the shot runners? Okay,
Azerman.
yeah, so-
Might be tough
Right,
here. It looks like
enemy,
he's wall
so-
screening a little bit.
Command phase.
To make
I don't
that
have anything command phase,
Tri
so
point
let's
tough.
just
I
go
think
ahead
you
and
can
move
try
some
point him
stuff.
though. You don't want to. You don't really want to get Behareth in melee. He gets free damage on you and then Cloud Strikes
Plan,
away.
Honestly.
So you mostly leave him alone. But
seriously,
But
I'm just gonna
Azerman,
try
excuse
to
me,
get
he hits
Azerman,
pretty hard.
and then hope I
He's got a
kill him
big
later.
AP3
So-
sword for 3 flat damage, so he just kills 8-bound if he converts on them, and he does mortal wounds on top,
It's a
if I
risky
remember
strategy,
correctly,
but
on
it
well,
will
Wood
give me
Rolls
a
of
bunch
6.
of points
So
and
you
I'll
honestly don't really
use
want to
it,
touch either of them.
later.
But if you want one to make you immune to shooting, it's Azerman. Fortunately, 8-bound do have a solid invulnerable save. I believe that the standard 8-bound are a 5+, and the Exalted go to a 4.
Is this the right decision? Probably not.
But is the Blood God decision? Definitely.
Yep. But it's my decision. My decision was
That's what matters. There are many like it, but that one is yours.
whoop. That 8-bound just did a couple backflips. Those guys will be fine. Kind of wish he ignored phase caps. He only ignores invul saves.
Well, I do have both of them.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we could
I just
complete
gotta
the tri
hope
point
that
with
Lord
Invocatus.
Invocatus just doesn't
But
get
this
lit up
is
like a mofo.
this is the situation that I was talking about earlier. If you want to play aggressively with Lord Invocatus, because he is a powerful Smash character, you give up the opportunity to start losing command points over the course of the game. Now, obviously, World Eaters actually don't have that much pregame
So
spend, so they
advance
do start
22.
with 6 or 5, I guess, which upgrades to 6
22. So
on the start of the first battle round. So it might not be the end of the world. You might just trying to keep an 8-bound unit alive and getting into your opponent's deployment zone may be worth it, but it is a bit of a big loss if you end up losing him.
So that way, when you kill him on your turn, I get points.
Thank you, Peggy.
Wait, Lord Invocatus, what can you do? Do I try and go for the 10-inch charge? It'd be hilarious. Fast.
They are
10-inch.
speedy boys.
Getting a 10-inch charge would be pretty disgusting right now. If you get this pressure on your opponent, I mean, maybe losing your Warlord is unfortunate, but if
People
you do
just-
get that charge, it's could be GG if you just also lose
We're just hanging right
they
here.
lose one of their big hammer
Um,
units.
The Rhino is going to go ahead and move up. So if the guys hop out 3 and then move 6, they go 9. So for right now, the Rhino will just move his 12.
Sounds good.
And then we will advance going 5.
Go.
Look at this guy go, and we will tag that objective. Sadly, if you kill this, I don't get blood tide, or I don't get the drowning it in blood.
Because it's a vehicle and it can't drown.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And this guy's gonna go 5.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, I guess, because killing even if the
Go
Berserkers disembark and are killed,
5,
that doesn't
and
count.
then we're
either.
gonna advance again.
They have to have
Third,
started the
fourth.
turn, or the
That
turn on the
objective,
objective, and they would have
come
started the turn in the transport.
So we're just kind of
The
spreading out a
position
little
of the
bit.
transport in that case doesn't actually matter. They're actually in this little box over here that says they're in a transport.
Let's spread these guys out. We'll move his 7, and then we'll advance them. With 4. We'll hide him here because we don't want him to die just yet.
You have to die at the right moment.
Yes. Then these guys shuffle.
Still
over and take that
95% Aeldari favored for according to the prediction here, chat. I do think that really just do have to kind of push pretty hard to fight into. I think Eldar World Leaders do feel like in some situations they could be kind of an answer to a gunline army because they, despite being shot to pieces very easily, they are once they get stuck into an army, they're incredibly difficult to kind of they hit well above their weight class. Every single unit in World Leaders is lethal. So if you're not super resilient, then you know two 8-bound running around your deployment zone, preventing fallbacks and murdering units and scoring secondary points is a nightmare. But the Eldar gun line may be a little bit of a silver bullet because they are incredibly mobile. And I think the screening from Prospero was good enough that and the rear deployment here that he's not going to worry too much about taking damage on this first turn.
These guys hang out there. These guys moved. All right, so I think that's it. Psychic phase. That's for sissies. Shooting phase. We'll just do Lord and Goddess for the hell of it. 2s.
12,000 points
and,
dumped on the wrong
3s.
person.
0
Dumped 12,000 points on Eldar, and you mentioned dump them on World Leaders.
The Rangers. Sorry. The only thing he could shoot at.
That's a fair assumption. Yeah. Actually, we use different dice. We don't get confused. Being a ranger, we'll use a ranger in cover. We'll use that ranger.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll use that ranger. How? He saves.
Alright. Okay, that was fun. Alright, now for the fun part. Charges. So, Teal Squad into Barry and Asserman.
Sounds great.
We are charging Behareth. I mean, there is a benefit to phase capping both Phoenix Lords, right? Because then suddenly they can't do this again. They can no longer just run into melee kind of willy-nilly. And I think that is pretty powerful because, again, so much of this army fights on death or has the opportunity to fight on death that Behareth at 3 wounds actually just dies if he touches a core unit that can be targeted with that stratagem.
6+ murder.
Gotta love it.
And probably, yeah, it looks like we're going to try to go for a tri-point on Azurman if we can. Now, there is
and then these guys will just...
a universe here where you actually combat bounce with the 8-bound and try to get a unit to Azurman. Maybe he might be too far away. Actually, they're close enough together that I think you can do it. So you can engage both and then bounce to Azurman to prevent Behareth from attacking you. Behareth's actually a pretty scary profile into these guys. He's 2 damage, strength 5 weapon, so he wins them on 4s and puts them on their invuln save. And every 2 converted attacks kills 1. But then he gets that for free because he just leaves combat afterwards.
Alright.
So he's not stuck in like Asherman is.
So that should be it for my charge phase. Do you have any crazy heroics?
No.
Alright. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go to the fight phase. We will do the 8-bound. We are going to do 8-bound champion into Baharoth, and then all the other 8-bounds into Osterman.
That's great.
Yeah, so trying to punch through that 3+
we are going to be 5-6 attacks. He has the 3 damage weapon. So he's going to be hitting on 3s. Do what?
This is into Osterman.
This is into Barry.
Barry. Sounds great.
All right, he's going to be strength 6 + 1 and +1 more because he charged, so 2s. So, or 3s into 2s, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Into 2s. All right, 4 saves.
I assume this is my invul.
Yep.
I fail, definitely
3
not.
damage each. Whoops. All right. 3 damage each. And then the other guys, which are going to be, they have double eviscerators, so 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks.
How will they ever do enough?
7, 14, 21, 28.
That was a lot of
Into
misses. 2s. Oh my gosh.
That many on your
14.
invuln.
This is a situation where you could slow roll and try to prevent the hit here. No, it'll go through. I don't know what we have for Strands of Fate dice.
Would you like to interrupt?
Marked anyway.
No.
Okay, do you want me to roll for these 8-bound?
No, they can just splatter these guys. I mean, these
Oh,
Okay.
they're over here.
So
No sixes, so no auto saves.
we're
Available
all
for
in the
Astroman.
dense
So that would have been a
cover
situation where you
anyway,
slow roll,
and so
because you're
it's
probably
like-
not taking any saves on your own
So,
turn.
nothing out there.
But
These
you
guys,
could
Barry still gets to do his
try to make enough
consolidate fly.
3+
doesn't
invuln
it?
saves with Astroman. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so let's still get to fly away. All right. All right, you can swing back.
Neat. I assume they're both based here, so we'll just start with
Mhm.
Osterman. He's got 6 attacks. He hits on 2s. Oh, he misses twice. He'll auto wound once. And then
Okay.
he wounds on 3s. Oh, he does a bad job.
Jeez,
2
Behareth.
saves, AP3.
We were kind of
83,
excited about you there,
so on
bud,
their
but
5-up invuln.
not today.
It is AP3.
Damage
3.
3. Oh wow.
Yeah, he slaps. He fights in melee. And then
Wow.
he does 1d3 mortal wounds at the end.
Oh no! Oh, not like this.
Awesome.
8 bound. Just pull Behareth out of melee. Don't let Behareth attack.
For 3 mortals, so okay.
Yeah, just don't let him attack. He's gonna like kill the unit. And then run away.
I will kill the 8 bound.
There you go.
Sounds good. So Barry's no longer engaged.
Correct.
Sounds good. Cool. Osterman is no longer based here, it looks like, so he can move. I don't really know where he wants to move, but he sure can do it.
Yeah, I think I don't think Zach or Prospero was that worried about the auto passing there. He didn't have any saves. He didn't want to spend the CP. Eldar tend to be CP hungry because they're fire invading things to keep out of the threat range of the World Eater's army. So he wants to save the CP early. The chance that he gets enough saves that he can protect the characters is very low, and he didn't have any auto pass saves in his Trance of Fate roll.
Yep. Those guys didn't start on. Nobody started on objective, so none for that. I killed 1 unit.
You also have to
so,
consider that
but that'll score at the end of the battle round, and then I'll have 1 blood type.
time is a resource that these players have, and so spending another minute or so trying to work out the saves in your Phoenix Swords when it literally doesn't matter is probably not worth it for him.
Okay, now I need to kill these guys in front of me and do something about this primary situation. Okay. I have no command phase abilities. It's a lame phase for losers. Let's move some stuff.
No command phase abilities until psychic powers in the command phase. Am I right, chat? So I think what we're probably going to see here is a position of these Shroud Runners, I would imagine, to prevent any Corn Berserkers from pushing out from this Chaos Rhino in a position where they would... Ooh, yeah, we're going to try to battle focus them in. Very nice. So we're going to try to peel as many 8-bound as we can, and then try to basically lock them in the Rhino effectively with the Shroud Runners. The Shroud Runners can do damage to them in the charge phase once they bail out. So you lose the Shroud Runners, but you could get a couple of Corn Berserkers for it.
He will warn his brethren.
And then prevent them from pushing deeper into the Eldar territory over here. So I do like this play from Zach, and it goes to show that I think the fact that these Eldar can kind of undercommit to fight these battles on these side objectives, unlike the World Eaters, means that they do have a little bit of an advantage there.
Maybe kill these with ultimate 8-bound? Sounds dangerous. These guys are going to get out of their transport. 9 total, and then they're going to charge. That is where they could get to. Which is outside of my potential range here. Kind of interesting. That's pretty interesting. What can a D cannon shoot?
A lot of things, apparently.
Not the transport.
A wound rolls for Asserman, chat. So they do have... They have 2 psychic tests and a charge roll in their bank, basically.
Our plan.
I think we may see a Behareth use a charge roll against one of the units that can't fight on death. You could go into...
These dudes.
I think you can fight Jackals without them hitting you.
We'll have a little Warlock right here.
Oh, no, that one I'm not kind of confident about, though.
18 of his buddies over there. Buddies is the word.
Yeah, Jackals are not core. They basically have no synergy with the faction. So you could go hit Jackals. You could hit a Chaos Spawn. You have a pretty good chance of killing those with Behareth. So you keeping the charge roll there is makes a lot of sense. But no auto wounds for Azraman. The auto wounds on Azraman are sweet. His strength is a little low. He's only strength 6, which is a little bit sad for a 3 damage weapon. But the 3 damage is great, and then he does the mortal wounds on top on 6s, which is also super sweet. That said, I think we do have a... We didn't actually go through the entirety of the Eldar list, I think. We might have gotten distracted by talking about avocados. But it is the two, speaking of automatic wound rolls, it is the two Phoenix Lords. There is a Farseer, who is the actual Warlord, who's unlikely to die this game. And then a Farseer Skyrunner with Kurnos Bow. So we have another outlet for sixes, for wound rolls of 6 to inflict mortal wounds from that guy's gun. The 5 Rangers we saw just get murdered. And then 3 units of 10 Dire Avengers. 2 Vipers, 1 with Shuriken Cannons, 1 with Scatter Lasers. The 3 Shroud Runner units, and then 3 units of Wind Riders, 2 of 9, 1 of 7. The 7 has cannons and the 2 smaller units of Shuriken Catapults, and then 2 D-cannon platforms in the back line here. So, Zach has a lot to, or Prospero has a lot to spend his wound rolls on. So using them there just to clear 8-bound doesn't make a huge difference, I think. He may try to kill these guys in the Psychic phase, honestly. But they do have to push through a Scorn of Sorcery, so they have to worry about a 4+ deny. But it's only 1 4+ deny. It starts to cost World Eaters there.
Except when 3 guys just got killed by Osterman. I didn't really expect that.
Especially when, what's the word? They may lose it in Invocatus here and be strapped on CP in the late game.
In exchange for these Exalted 8-bound. The alternative being just...
Hopefully we see some sweet Asterman play this coming turn, though. You could even, I mean, Asterman actually has a really solid profile, or a decent, I won't say solid, a decent profile matchup into Invocatus. He has to get 3 hits through, or like 2, and maybe a 6 wound of 6. He could auto pass the charge roll here to get into that guy.
And everyone can throw like 6 inches for 1 CP. It's pretty good.
Not characters though.
Not characters.
They just have regular. Right.
So I do think that is probably worth it for us to do, unfortunately, but it is what it is. These guys will advance, they get 6 more inches. And they'll kind of just flatten themselves up against this wall.
So this shooting could be deadly from the Eldar. Think we'll see this. The Rhinos gets kept alone, left alone.
Just like an all on the sight and range.
And then we have the potential to lose 2 Exalted 8-bound squads, depending on how the saving throws go. And I imagine we've already lost most of an 8-bound squad, and then the other 8-bound squad probably goes down to the shooting in the center too. So we're gonna lose. We're about to lose a lot of 8-bound this turn. Prosper has taken no prisoners, so each one of those will score him a couple points. The 8-bound have 15 wounds a unit, so they'll score 1.5 points. The Exalted 8-bound have 9, so they'll score just about 1 point. So that's a big brace of no prisoners. Behind enemy lines requires him to get into his opponent's deployment zone. It's gonna be tough for now, but we do often see 1 or 2 Wind Riders survive out of a unit, and then those guys just get to be automatic BEL scorers. And then Scout the Enemy is the last one. He has to do an action outside his deployment zone. That one's gonna be tough. I'm not sure where he's doing that one. Oh, Asterman has fallen back. Looks like we paid the CP to fall back and charge with him. So gonna go at whoever survives over here, I imagine. Behar, is he charging? Oh, buddy. Oh, this could be a huge mistake here, Chant. Those 8-bound are core. They can fight on death. They could kill Behareth right now if he overcommits and goes into them. Ruh-roh. No saving throws available for the Eldar either. You then kind of have to hope that your like Behareth like underswings. He's like, oh, I'm only strength 5. Maybe I just roll a bunch of 3s to wound and I don't wound you. I don't know. Make all your saves, and then I'll cloud strike.
Hard time drawing the true line of sight. I guess I can do it against that guy. But too much difficulty. 6 inches here. They're good there. This guy wants 6 inches here. But you can go way out. And would not have line of sight. I'll just take that direction. I'd be able to draw 2 as 8-bound. 1 Warlock can advance. Advance Warlock. He goes maybe 9 inches. I'm not that excited. 9 inches of movement. there, he can cast 25 inches and not really hit anyone. So I guess I'll go 2. Whoa, can you hear me? Hello?
Mhm.
Hello?
Mm.
Okay, I think I have a lag spike. Up to 6 here. And then...
Sorry, just taking a drink.
Yeah, you're good. Is he locked now? I cannot seem to touch him anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. I can't touch that warlock. I can touch other things, just not the warlock. Very strange. I'm vaguely concerned. I just don't. Oh, now it works. Don't know what's up with that. 3 more inches of movement. And right there. And do within 18 of them. And then we have this Farseer right here. She wants to advance. Only 10 inches. She wants to do within 18 of them. That's probably not going to happen. So let's go over 10 directly forward. Get back here within 24 of them.
A little bit awkward.
And then
Now we
we
have to
have
hope for
the
10s on
Cannon
our
Bikes and the Wind Riders.
psychic tests to get the extended range to buff those guys. Downside of that Farseer being a foot model, and you having to basically move the rest of your army before she moves.
Cannon Bikes.
Sometimes you see foul shoes wing on these models just to prevent that from happening. Plus, it gives you another outlet for mortal wounds with the grenade pack ability.
And be able to draw line of sight to those guys. If I go to 3, something like this, be a big issue, but I guess I can mess around with these guys. Room. Room. I guess I could also go out here. Just kind of more exposed. I guess there's not that much that can actually get to them from here, but it is improperly organized, you know?
Mhm.
Because I still have no issues with range from here, but line of sight could present an issue. 16. Yeah, I don't love that. But I do think they'll probably end up going directly up there. I'll just cluster around there. Cluster, cluster, cluster.
I'm trying to think about it. Maybe this is a matchup where I wanted to go second.
I mean, the pregame move is good. Can't say no to a pregame move.
Yeah, but then you get close to me and I'm just like, a blargle largle.
You said it, Buster. And then she can move out over
The
here.
old Blargle. That's my favorite strategy in 40k too.
That's what's going on.
When in doubt,
And
a
then-
Blargle. You know what I'm saying?
But everyone, not quite that one Chaos Spawn, but something tells me I can get that guy elsewhere. I assume Chaos Spawns are not OPSEC.
OPSEC, or yeah, they're not OPSEC.
Sounds good. Alright. I think that's us. I think we're forgetting things. We'll see things go. I'll lose some magic. We'll start with this Warlock. We'll just toss a quick smite out there. Fight. Phew. Goes off on a 7. And then does
I care about that.
2 more wounds.
Immortals. Yeah, I definitely don't care about that.
Like block. And then we'll do this horse here. And she will cast. I guess I can go back to her. Brush. All together, Warlock. For simplicity's sake, he will cast Protect Jinx. He'll just cast Bra. Boop. 5, 6, 7 does go off. Do you want to deny it? You have 1 deny, right? What you're considering.
Yeah, I can't deny that. What does
Oh,
this
yeah,
first Skyrunner have?
She has Doom and Fortune.
Doom. And this one has Guide. Guide is the one I really care about.
That's good. Go ahead and put
can't-
some CP on it, lady.
I can't deny that one. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. So
What's the range on it? It's 18 or something?
18. Let me double check though, because
24. I assumed it was 24. I didn't know it was.
Let me double check. Oh, it is 24 inches. Yeah, go. And you are casting Jinx.
Projector Jinx. That's all cast the time for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I won't deny it. I'm gonna wait for guide because I think that's more
impactful.
Yeah.
Good. She'll Jinx them, or he'll Jinx them, and then we'll do this Farseer.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll cast Doom, take 6 to make it go off.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't be surprised if this one gets the score on a sorcery here, chat.
She'll Doom them.
No, not using it.
And then she'll
Maybe guide is what we're worried about.
It really doesn't matter, but she does not want to do too much damage. I guess she can.
World Leaders went first. They did make charges, chat. There was two Phoenix Lords.
You mean guide?
Here, and a bunch of Rangers preventing the pregame move from getting into the Eldari deployment zone. So they killed all that stuff, or they punched all that stuff. Both Phoenix Lords down to 3. Lost a couple 8-bound for it, but that was it.
That definitely goes off.
We will. Sorry.
Then she'll make guide go off automatically, and you do your thing.
Yep. So on a 4-up. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you'll get a guide. And she will guide the cannon bike squad. Yes.
Okay.
That's actually an interesting question. Are all these guys in range of this guy? They are. Yeah, she'll buy the cannon bike squad. Cool. Magic phase is over. Let's some shooting. Start with the guys that have the hardest time shooting. So we'll do this D cannon into those guys. D3 shots. Boop. 1 shot. Hits on a 3. Pow. It hits. Wounds on a 2. Pow. It wounds. AP4.
On a 5-up. Nope. And we'll kill the wounded guy.
Damage. We'll do the other D cannon onto the same guy. Let's see.
Feels like gratuitous overkill here, champ.
Yep. Number of shots. 2. Hits on 3s. Wounds on 2s. 1 wound, AP4.
5-up again? Damage?
D3, or D6 plus 2, so minimum 3.
Okay, so minimum 3. Alright. Alright. I'll go there, and then we'll get another blood type point.
Because they started a turn, because they pre-game moved on the objective, was what it was?
No, blood type point, yeah.
Cool. Now we'll do those. They're shuriken cannon bikes. I guess we probably want to go the other way.
There's no overkill at 40k. Only appropriate amounts of kill.
Battle focus. That's actually rather annoying. But
that's fair enough, chance. Only regular amounts of killing.
We'll start with the cannon bikes, unfortunately. Yeah, cannon bikes will shoot the rebound.
Sure thing.
And we'll spend 1 CP for 6s to hit explode.
Okay.
So the full combo, the full psychic combo is activated here. Blade storming the shuriken cannon, 2 damage bikes. Minus and save on the 8-bound, so even the unrending attacks from the shuriken cannons go to AP2. And then full rerolls hit and wound here, which is going to be disgusting. I think we may see this 8-bound unit just get vaporized.
Alright. Hitting on 4s.
So in fact, the rending here doesn't matter. They are in cover, so it does matter a little bit. They go to they're a 4+ save against the non-rending attacks. Everything else puts them on their involvement.
On 3s. Pretty good. You're rolling pillars with Doom.
They're
looking at this many AP3s and that many AP1s damage to you.
Alright, AP1, so I know. So everything's on a 5-up anyway.
Right, because you're 3-up, +1 to 2-up, -1 to 3-up, -1 to. No, aren't there 4-ups?
No, they have 5-up invulns. The regular 8-bound have 5-ups.
I just thought they have a 3-up base save, +1 to 2-up, -1 to 3-up, -1 again to 4-up.
Yeah, that's correct. They're in cover.
Now, granted, they probably die either way, but
yeah, we'll just say they're dead. I'm okay with that.
I think that regardless of which mix of dice, it would still.
Yeah,
it's a classic world leaders player move here, chat. Math is for nerds. My units are dead. I get blood type points. I will turn them into secondary objective victory points. It doesn't matter.
Which is not really very helpful, and so they're really not going anywhere for these guys. I guess they want to scooch away from them. 2 inches. Do it in order. So you go here, you're 2 inches. Your guy out of the way. You're 2 inches. You go here. You can go there. Okie doke. Then next we will have Lord Amicus being shot by, I guess, as many of these as you can see. Probably ordered this incorrectly. We'll get the on a sight then. 3, from the front of his little nosy bit. Right here is all but one, I want to say.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess I'll double check if this guy's in range or not. All right. And then everyone else is. All right, so all but one will shoot him.
Mhm.
That is 36 shots normally. -4 is 32. Delete. 32 shots. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s because he's on an objective.
Mhm.
These guys miss. These guys auto wound. He's toughness 5, I want to say. 6,
Toughness 6.
Wounding on 5.
Toughness 6. Yeah.
We're looking at AP 3 AP1s, and the rest are AP.
Right. So these ones will be 3-ups. They're good. And then the rest AP3.
AP3, yep.
So on is 4-ups.
Neat.
I remember this time. Wee. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool. And then they battle focus 5 inches, which they probably actually will use just to slide a little bit back. Just a smidge though. 3, 2. I'll land back here. Neat. And then we have the Farseer Skyrunner who will shoot him. She has 3 shots. She hits on 2s. She hits all her shots. She has strength 6 for his toughness of you said 6.
Yep. So 4 is the wound.
1 goes through for 1 mortal wound.
1 mortal wound. All right. Take it.
And then we have.
It's not looking great for our intrepid, green-hued hero over here.
Okay.
I think that Azurman may just turn him into dust.
1 wound, 1 miss. Strength 6 wounds on 5s. No wounds. Just 1 save. AP3 on that right
In
now.
fact, we'll almost assuredly kill him.
6 up. We're good.
And then he can battle focus. These Shroud Runners will shoot. The 2 of them who can will target those Exalted 8 pound. The one that cannot will target the Rhino.
Mhm.
With the Exalted 8 pound, we have 2 sniper rifle shots. Pew pew. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 5s. Nothing. And then 12 laser shots. Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 3s. 8 saves. AP nothing.
Onto pink as well. Pink exalted.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So a bunch of 3-ups.
Ooh,
Thanks, game.
we get a guy.
And
And the other Shroud
then
Runner.
Losing 1 dude out of 8
A
saves.
single
is
sniper
not
rifle into the tank.
particularly
It
unlikely.
misses. And then a laser into the tank. That one in there too. Those all hit. Wounds on 5s. 2 saves. AP nothing.
3-ups. Good.
Living large. And then I did forget to battle focus with the Farseer. I don't know if you care.
Go for it.
Sure. She moves an inch.
Whee! So fast and furious.
And then left to shoot is Baharov. And these Wind Riders will start with Baharov. He'll shoot the Chaos Spawn with his 4 shots.
Mhm.
I guess he's rank 6. Sure, he'll shoot the Lord of Goddess. 2. He does a good job with 2 auto wounds. And with his strength 6, he will wound on force. 3 saves, AP2.
3 saves, so on his 4-ups. Oh, he's dead.
No slow
Pew, pew.
roll there.
I think he'll choose not to teleport, unless the recipe for the biscuit on this.
Do have some
And
good
then-
charges. Could go into the Chaos Spawn, additionally. Azurman will for sure kill the Chaos Spawn, but
36 shots.
Behareth does like... He would appreciate a solid charge. You do have a charged dice in the pool, by the way, chat. So it is only a 2+ on 1d6 against the Chaos Rhino, but if we don't take that, it's a little awkward. Could go into the other Chaos Spawn or the Jackals. Either one of those is probably pretty
Which
solid.
ones?
Exalted 8 pound.
Exalted? Yeah, they're 5.
Sounds good. So you have this many AP3s and 4
The
AP1s.
Eldar Superconductor
This many
and
4-ups?
Katuar Lore. Thank you for the follows,
One
everybody.
damage each.
Hope everyone's having a good weekend.
They have 4-ups.
Everybody play some games. We're currently live streaming the finals of a tournament. World Eaters over here in the blue side, little ironically
It's okay.
on the
so that
top
goes squad.
right. versus Aeldari on the other side. Oh yeah, there goes the Wind Riders, killing the other Exalted 8-pound as we predicted.
Do that.
And then I think that's a
Go
Fire and
to
Fade,
6
most likely.
blood tithe points.
So bloody.
6 Blood Tithe points.
They could
And we do have, at the end of this shooting phase, a lot of opportunity to spend those points.
here, but not really save them. 9. And it wouldn't be the easiest charge. I think it's not a terrible idea to force you to do.
Smax put an MCP game today. Dice decided it. Yeah. That is, in my experience with MCP, unfortunately, is that happens a lot. That game is, the dice in that game are all over the place, which is a little unfortunate. It's almost any game with consistently exploding dice. Just kind of, just happens.
We'll say where they are.
It's a well-constructed game, but I think it is a little bit all over the place for me. Also, the release cadence is really, really fast.
Eat bolt gun!
I think that is all of our shooting. I'll start with these Roadrunners. Start with this Rhino.
Sure thing.
2 dice. Roll. They roll a 2. Does that fail?
I think that fails it, yeah.
Within 3. I guess to the front.
Blood
spiky
for the
thing.
blood
Are
god!
they
They count as the whole, I guess.
Very appropriate. Very appropriate voice line there, chat.
Charging to the
Trevi.
front spiky.
Trevi! Help!
Trevi.
What's the question?
What counts as the hull on the Rhino? Do these spiky bits count?
Every part of your model is considered your hull.
Okay.
You can remember, I think we're within 3 inches of the spikies.
Yes. Okay.
Right. Well, they'll do their little anemic charge.
It is the an excellent example of how hull measurement rules are a little toxic, unfortunately. You can just choose to leave those off your Rhino, which makes it about 2 inches smaller. Which is, great. It's great. If you ever wanted to model for advantage, Chaos Rhinos are a great example of how to do that.
Okay.
I don't think there's any other charges, so we'll do a couple of fights. I guess you could interrupt, so the only fight that's relevant is Awesome Range to this Chaos Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
He will, I guess, file in and land over here. Pop. Right there. And he has his 6 attacks. On this. 6 attacks. Hitting on 2s. Strength 6 against T5.
Mm-hmm.
He will wound with 4, and then do 2 D3 mortal wounds at the end. AP3. He was beneath him in the end, and he'll just kind of stand there. He's not really more special to go. I assume you don't want to interrupt with any of these rhinos.
No.
Boggeroth will file in. He'll just go over here. And I guess he doesn't really care about it much, but he'll be there, and he'll stab that rhino.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's probably best off just annoying people right here. He can interrupt most, just working. Make his 6 attacks. Shoot. 1 miss, 1 explosion, so it all evens out in the end. He's strength 5, so wounds on 5s. 1 wound, AP2, or AP3? AP3 in melee.
It doesn't matter.
Tap stab.
Okay.
And then I have the Stroud Runners that aren't going to do much, but they'll pile in. I guess this direction, pile in. They really don't want to be any closer, so I guess they're going to kind of stay exactly where they are. Let's make sure they can all be in melee range. Shoot. I guess they really only do this. Only 2 of them can fight. They don't really get any closer. I guess it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. Sure.
Okay.
I'll just get within 1 inch. Make sure they're not closer. Sure. And they have their 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 6s. Ooh, close, but no cigar. And then you do some bite backs.
I mean, sure. We'll do the Rhino into Baharoth.
Sounds good. I just knew you to consolidate this guy so he faces
Yeah.
Rhino. And Baharoth facing. I can see for sure. He faces.
So he hits once, and then he's going to wound on a 2. Get him. You get him.
Wow.
0.
Favorite thing
AP0 onto Baharoth.
is to keep Your jetpike's looking away
Oh,
from
no,
him,
your,
increasing charge range.
the-
Well, fortunately
oh,
for
yeah.
the jetpikes, it doesn't make so much of a difference. Because the jetpikes do base measure, so the actual position of the model for jetpikes only matters for line of sight, not for measurement. But it does for
Alright, thank you.
for vehicles, Eldar vehicles, for example, and it works both ways, right? So like an Eldar tank
So recently
that's
I
facing
found out,
backwards
you
will measure
can
from
only
its
spend
back,
5 points after you gain
but
them
that measurement
at
is the
end
same
of
for
your
both
phase.
players. So if you're if it's shooting you and you're trying to charge it, however far away you are, it doesn't change.
We're gonna do, what do we got?
Models with like overhanging parts
So
can
I'm
do
gonna
weird
spend
things though.
5,
I think a good example is like either an Eldar tank or a Defiler has like
2,
basically a big
3,
hook
4,
that you can put models in
5 for
between,
+1
and
to
how
hits.
exactly that works is a little bit awkward.
And then, so army wide +1 to hit, and I think we'll just spend the last 2 on at the end of your phase, or end of your round for 4 for pile the skulls.
Oh, that's for points.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So burning all the blood type
Okay.
points, getting +1 to hit.
And then here
I'd
I
like
killed
+1 to charge
1
here,
unit.
but maybe we didn't have enough to do
Yay.
that and get a bunch of
So
points.
the units that you kill.
Yeah.
And this one is 2 objectives.
This was when I killed the blood for the blood god is when I killed those rangers,
Yeah, sounds great.
and that is all I killed. So
Well, you got some prime targets now.
Secondaries
I
ticking
think
up for
that
world
is
eaters. They do have really, really strong
kind of
secondaries.
right, so over to you.
Looks like we're able to keep them down to a 4-point primary with Azerman hanging out in the middle here. But Azerman he is giving his life for the craft world. This poor man's about to be charged by something. Could be 8-bound. Could be even just a chaos bond probably. Those things are AP too. Yeah. It's probably good enough. I don't know. I believe that they do also get the faction trait, because World Eaters work a little bit differently than a lot of other factions. Everything in a World Eaters detachment gets its detachment abilities, unlike normal Chaos Space Marines, where the units like your cultists won't. So that's what gives the Jackals their extra attack. So Jackals could potentially do it. The Chaos Bond could potentially do it. Goes to 2d3 plus 1 attacks at strength 6. Here comes Berserkers.
Something like that. Okay, so
I think part of the reason, part of the issue for the Shroud Undersea chat is that they rolled like a 2-inch charge. So they didn't have a ton of movement to pile and consolidate. I would like to see that so that they prevented the Berserkers from jumping out. But I think they're going to get back on the objective anyway. It doesn't... And forcing the Berserkers to charge this way means that they don't get to touch cover with their charge moves, which is actually a little bit of a benefit. But actually now this objective gets Blood Gods, dude. Blood Gods, dude. Because of the Shroud Runners will be killed on top of it. Now, I guess there's an interesting question here, right? Because we don't have any guns, you kind of have to walk into interrupts. Prospero's holding up 5 command points, and he has Behareth pushed far forward. So he is basically telling his opponent that he's going to give up both Asherman and Behareth for primary objective control, basically. At this point, he's hoping that the units that bail out to kill both of these Phoenix Lords will be the majority of the remaining World Eaters army, which I think is going to happen. So we're going to push the 8-bound out, we're going to push 4 units of Khorne Berserkers out, and then most of that stuff is going to get swept by the back line of Wind Riders and also these 30 Dire Avengers that we don't need to talk about. I think that that's most likely what's going to happen. So forcing these World Eaters units to run forward is basically going to run them into the waiting teeth of the Eldar guns. And then those World Eaters units will be dead, and the game will most likely be over. But you also, because you're holding up all that CP, you do force an interrupt. And there isn't a good interrupt here. I think Roboshark has to eat it on the chin from Asherman, which is never something that you want to be doing. You want to kill both these guys cleanly, but because one of them's going to get to swing at you, like you could pay a CP to fight on death with whichever unit gets interrupted on. So you can kind of like blank their CP, but you still lose the models, and Asherman's dead anyway. So I think Prospero's really happy with this trade here. He's basically going to get like a full unit of 8-bound out of Asserman, in addition to primary objective control and screening. The downside is that we're most likely going to lose Behareth here, but we'll see. We'll take a look at what he has for Strands of Fate dice. It looks like we're up to 2 hit rolls, a psychic test, and a wound roll. So we do have the Asserman dice over here. Now, another thing that Roboshark has to keep in mind is that the 12 inches from these Shroud Runners, if the Shroud Runners are within 12 of you, they can wire weave you and reduce your movement.
That's still not enough.
Oh, the clock is paused. That's weird.
So
Should be pausing the clock yet. Is it broken?
they also
Oh, no,
get
there it
4
goes.
for my primary. I forgot. Let's see. This guy's will hang up there. Rhino will hang up there. So if I do that, then your bikes come in, light me up again.
Pew, pew, pew.
Don't really like that. But the more stuff that dies, the stronger I become. Orange 8-bound is going to advance.
I don't know if they rolled for
We're going
CP.
to.
I assume that they did.
They go 11. So if they go there, these
We can
guys
talk
auto
about that at
advance.
the beginning of the game.
22.
The
Okay.
red squad has the cannons, and those are heavy weapons that cannot advance and fire.
Oh, this
They're
is
16.
they're the sugar cannon.
Yeah, they're the ones
There's-
with the cannons. The other guys are 22, but they're 16.
Okay. So they shouldn't be able to shoot that guy if they go down, but these guys go 22 and then still can't shoot.
Seems accurate.
Viper can come over and shoot, but I don't really care about him too much. So yeah, these guys will go their 11-inch advance.
Neat.
Two, two, just for the sake of it, and then his 9. So you can't actually. You might be. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Well, one guy can shoot him.
One
So-
lonely man.
Yeah. All right. The guys in this rhino are gonna pop out. If I charge these guys, do they have any crazy thing to like move away, or is that
Oh,
just
yeah, I know. Nope. They have nothing to move.
just?
If Overwatch won't kill you, then they're dead. That's
It's interesting. I thought that those guys had fire and fusion, but it looks like we're saving our CP on Prospero side. Well. I think that we may lose or at least most of a Wind Rider squad here to a Berserker unit. It's a big pickup. The Dire Avengers should be enough, I think, to counterpunch effectively here, but losing 9 Wind Riders doesn't feel good.
These guys are just gonna charge me.
We have another Exalted 8-bound squad back here. It feels like there's endless Exalted 8-bound squads. After you chew through 15 8-bound in the 3 big units in every one of these lists, you kind of always feel like, well, I think I've done it. I've gotten rid of all the 8-bound. And then the Exalted ones come out. And you're like, oh my god, there's more. There's always more.
Yeah, I think this guy moved a little too far. So from here, only 5 bikes can shoot him.
Where's my measuring?
4.
You want to go from the edge of his base. I'll delete this other thing because this is going to be confusing. This guy is your guy. I think you're looking at
So
yeah,
4-ish?
4 bikes. 4 bikes,
Okay.
that's right.
All right, that's not bad. Okay, these guys will charge there later, and
I imagine that we might still do that Overwatch. It's probably a dead Berserker, maybe 2. The guide is in the back, unfortunately, so those guys aren't re-rolling. It's on the cannon squad, which is not in danger right now.
We swarm this guy with jackals.
And jackals beat him up. Can they do it?
Yeah, this is where I would really like to have my Land Raider. Kind of wish I had my Land Raider.
It's nice to have some shooting, I feel like.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, those jackals. I
okay.
don't know about those
Shadow of the
jackals.
Wild Cannon.
Like 2 8-bound will phase cap him, but if he gets the interrupt on jackals, I think he just kills the unit. Especially since we have an auto wound roll, so we can guarantee he gets at least one set of mortal wounds out of his interrupt.
Points as well.
So basically, all he has to do is kill 4 or 5, and then the mortal wounds do the rest.
Then these guys just scooch them in here.
Yeah, the rerolling ones, I guess. Yeah, that is true because they are
so that should be it for my move phase.
So they reroll ones offensively against units on objectives. That's fair. That's a good call out.
This Chaos Rhino. Get him.
You do.
Rapid fire 2. 4 shots. Hitting on 3s. 3s into 4s?
Just 3s. It's not a heavy weapon, I assume, so.
Yeah. It's rapid fire, so 3s into 4s. Get him. Get him. Just 1.
AP?
Just 0. Ah, aha.
Let's do this.
Almost.
Right, so we will do 1 to Baccaroth. So now he's definitely not going to be able to get phased.
Baccaroth save. He's got a 2-up save.
Oh, he has a 2-up save. Oh. Okay.
Those Phoenix Lords. They got that cool Phoenix armor.
The Rhino, the Berserkers will kill him. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, we haven't really spent any stratagems so far, chat. World Leader started with 6, so they had
guys into here.
they've had a lot, and Prospero hasn't really done anything with his CP. He just fell back in charge with Azerman.
Purple guys.
Ooh, so blanking the reducing the charge roll on the purple.
So they take 1
With
mortal.
the tangle or with the
Okay. I'm gonna just put it-
wire weave.
Link.
It's gonna prevent them from getting to the Vipers most likely. Oh, the Viper is scouting the enemy. That would be why.
Okay.
That would be huge.
We'll charge into there.
I guess I decide whether I want 4 bikes to Overwatch. Not worth a lot to me. I need 1 CP, 2 CP. Kind of okay.
Okay.
We'll do it. Boop.
Oh.
Sorry. Well, they definitely make the charge. I mean, no one's surprised with that. 4
Yeah.
bikes.
Go ahead and shoot.
1, 2, 3, 4. 6s. You're rolling 1s from the objective for 2 auto wounds. 2 at AP3.
6 ups. Okay, just 1 guy dies. It'll be this idiot in the back.
A little bit
Once
below
again.
average. Still solid though.
I don't think that's how it happens, but like, it'd be hilarious if you killed them in Overwatch and he got the D6 move again. That would be,
It's
that'd
probably
be pretty funny. Pretty sure it's not how the
It's probably shooting phase. I
rule
imagine.
works.
I think you definitely make your charge either way.
Yeah. I just think that would be hilarious.
It would be funny.
All right. I will spend a CP for those berserkers that 3d6 drop the lowest.
Sounds good.
And what's the charge? It is a 6. Okay,
So
so
using
3d6
our
drop the
icon strat.
lowest. So 7. I make it on a 9, so 8 inches.
Nice. Good move. And it's going to be a little annoying to deal with. We'll probably pick those guys up with the D cannons most likely, or psychic powers. But if they knock the Viper down, that could be huge. Only strength 5 though.
And then
Or I guess they are strength 6, so they actually have a pretty good chance.
we'll
of winning.
roll their charge.
That +1 strength on the charge is a big deal.
Womp. Well, good thing it's
This area is a bad area for charging, I guess.
apparently people throwing nets everywhere,
Yeah, man.
bunch of rubble.
Gross.
Okay. You have CP to fight on death, or not fight on death, to
Interrupt.
interrupt. So yeah, all right,
I
guys
can
into.
love that.
So this 8 bound into Osterman,
Sounds great.
hitting with a 9.
Most certainly enough.
Little spawn buddy will join in on the fun too. So
Hey.
he'll get 8.
What fun he's having.
All right. All right, so that should be all of my charges. So we'll go ahead and go into the fight phase. So the only real threats in melee are Osterman, Baharoth. So we'll actually start with Baharoth because Osterman, I can just
hear that Baharoth can flee if you don't kill him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like come through this way.
He,
They should all be able to get in. All right.
get him.
All right, so we'll start with the regular berserkers. So 4, 5 attacks, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 for the champion.
Sounds good. Hitting on 2s.
Yeah. Winning on 3s.
Winning on 3s. AP 2, damage 1.
2s into 3s. Ugh.
Oh no!
AP 2 damage 1. Yeah.
That was a
Takes
terrible
4 pintle
swing.
save, which he does a phenomenal job of.
Oh no,
And
Alright.
chance.
All right, and then I got the guy with the eviscerator.
Eviscerate him, baby.
5 attacks. He'll be 2s into 2s.
So Behareth survives the standard berserkers.
Into 2s. All right.
8. I will roll 1 at a time just in case we have to. We don't have to, I think. He dies. And I'll
All
spend
right.
1 CP to have him resurrect on the end of the turn on a 4-up. Maybe.
All right. Do you want to interrupt?
I do. I'll drop with Osterman. Figure all my CP.
All right. I will. Shoot. Okay. I think how many? So he gets 4 attack here. 4
Yeah, 6
attacks.
attacks.
6 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding me on 3s.
3s, yep. 6s to wound are D3 mortal wounds on top.
D3 mortal wounds.
And I have 1 auto wound die.
Yeah. All right. I will spend the 2 CP to fight on death with them,
Neat.
just in case.
Just in case of emergency. Break glass. Alright, so he hits on 2s. Does a decent job. He gets 1 auto wound.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wounds on 3s. And does a very good job.
Okay.
2 D3 mortals, and then this many saves at AP3.
2 D3 mortals and 5 saves.
Yes, 5 saves is correct.
Okay, so it's an addition.
Yeah, it's an addition.
Okay. So 5 ups.
Ooh.
Make 1, fail 4.
So Asterman
So
does
how many damage you said?
what we expected last turn.
3,
Just
so 1, 2, 3, 4,
vaporizes the
8
same
bound
band
dead.
unit.
Here, let me roll that for you.
Almost
We'll
makes you think if
together.
Asterman was like designed
And yeah, so the 8 bound are dead.
by Vol to destroy 8 bound
They
specifically,
do get
because
to
he is
fight on
very
death.
good at
Yes,
doing it.
So got 8 bound slap or 8 bound do slap, but so does Asterman. So 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 14, 21, 28 attacks. Let's do this whole song and dance again. 28. So hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
Oh lord.
There you go.
Ready for the most 3-ups you've ever seen? I guess I'll keep some over side, blah blah blah. Damage.
2.
Alright, so I guess he's down to 1. Another chunk of dice. And he's
Right. Okay.
At least one of these guys
and then
down
the 8 bound are
permanently.
dead too.
But yeah,
They
the
go out
8-bound
together in a
are-
blaze of glory.
Asterman getting
Alright.
2 units of 8-bounds pretty solid.
Okay,
That's
so-
that is a good
Uh,
conversion for that guy.
points. So Barry gives me 2.
Does he
Um,
dot? I have no idea how that works.
yeah, I'll look it up at the end. So Osterman for 2, and my 8 bound for 1 more. And then I'll get 1 point for drowning that blood since Osterman died on it.
He sure did. We have more fights though.
So these guys will go over here. So 3, Current for this guy, 3. I don't even know why I'm doing this because he can fly. So
Gotta love these updated Corn Berserker
4,
models, chat.
5,
These things are
21
actually
attacks
sweet.
again.
These guys look sweet.
2s into, so they're gonna be strength 6 versus toughness 5.
Semantics, thanks for coming and watching. Appreciate you, man.
I get +1 to strength when I charge. So yeah, 3s.
You get a good night's sleep. You be well rested for adulting.
2s into 3s. Nice. AP2 1 damage.
Sounds good. These are 5 saves. Oh, we got exploded. I guess that's a good question. Do we explode? No, but we do die. And our action failed.
And it is a vehicle, so I will go up to 5 blood tithe points.
These 4 Shroud Runners.
Then though these poor Shroud Runners, so do something like that. Like that. I think I'm based in there, so something like that. That should work. Alright, 21 more attacks again. 2s into 3s again? Yeah.
So T4, if that makes a difference.
Yeah, so 2s into 3s.
Yeah.
2s into 3s. AP2, 1 damage.
Sounds good. 6 up saves. Oh, just barely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get exploded. 4 Shroud Runners.
We'll go over here and tag this objective. Right. No, we'll spend the Blood God's shower of blood where I jump back into a rhino when we do that. When they consolidate. Be pretty badass.
Is that a thing?
That's not a thing.
Oh, okay, well, that's a pretty cool thing.
And then yeah, up here. So one guy dies, he'll be 5, 10, 15, 16 chainsword attacks. And then the eviscerator, so they should all be able to fight.
Good. I will lightning quick for -1 damage.
Alright. So 3s into 3s. 3s. A lot of 2s. Alright, 7, AP2, 1 damage.
That's disgusting.
These are 5 up saves. Kill
Does
1,
still get
2, 3 guys even.
3 bikes.
Okay, and then 5 eviscerators.
Eviscerate me, baby.
3s into 2s. Always 1. Into 2s. Alright, 4 at AP3, I think.
These are 6 up saves. Oop, try again.
AP4.
AP4. Well, I guess there's no saves, but they kill 4 guys either way. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, these eviscerator berserkers are doing work here. It always feels like the regular berserkers underswing a little bit, and then the eviscerator guy goes and just kills whatever he's touching.
So I can
Pretty solid.
consolidate T
So
with this
the
guy
damage
to
this
get
turn
back
has been
into
good.
combat.
Losing that 8-pound unit was unfortunate, but we did kill the Viper. We killed the Shroud
They're
Runners.
not going anywhere.
We'll have to see if Behareth dies. If Behareth dies, it could be dire straits for the Aeldari. They do have so much stuff in reserve that it's probably fine.
Alright.
But the Berserkers are in annoying
so that
places.
should
They're
be
screening
it.
out the table edges
So,
now.
Did I give myself the blood tithe point for killing the Shroud Runners? Okay, so I should be at 6 and then 7.
Sounds great.
Nice.
Bahareth stands up on a 4 out. With D3 wounds remaining.
Drum roll, please, chats.
1.
He does get
And
back
he does
up on a
have the out of
1.
combat closest possible.
Or with
Back
1,
to
excuse me.
there, maybe? Maybe here? It's over here. I guess that's going to interpret the right now. Like right here, yeah. So I think it's the other direction. Do this. 2.6 versus 3.
So the interesting, a little piece of technology for y'all here is that if you are Roboshark, what you actually do, not that it matters in this case because these Corn Berserkers are objective secured, but you can set yourself up in a situation where the closest point for the respawning model is off the objective. So if you have players who are trying to... and you can do that with your consolidation, because you kill them, they flip over, and then they're no longer there. So you consolidate towards basically the meat of the rest of their army. So you can most likely position yourself so that you basically edge out the objective, and you bounce them out of the objective radius. That's a pretty common tactic for dealing with these objective secured respawners.
Just army wide, right?
Army wide 6 up, feel no pains.
Seems good.
All right. So.
Oh man, and these blood tithe abilities are ticking up. +1 attack and a 6-foot damage ignore.
So does he die and come back to life? So would I get the point for?
I
Or does
don't
not
know.
count? Does he not count as being destroyed?
Rise of the Phoenix. Tell me. Phaonix.
And blood tithe points are gained immediately. And they are gained. Yeah, they are gained immediately, and then check at the end of the phase if a unit was destroyed, not whether it's destroyed. So, yeah, you would gain it multiple times.
Phoenix Reborn is what it's called. When a Phoenix from an army is destroyed, you can choose blah blah blah. Rolls that are triggered blah blah blah. 6 in the phase.
The
Using
Reiner
any
gonna
rolls that
do?
are
Oh, yeah,
triggered
look
when
at that
that model is destroyed. If you do, on a 4-up, set the model back up on the battlefield, so that's possible. Yes, so I think the phrase using any rolls that are triggered when the model is destroyed feels like that means you get blood.
So I would get the blood tithe points for it, or?
I believe so. I believe that's what that means.
Okay. All right, and we'll just get the 2 for that. I've already maxed out the blood for the blood god for round 2, so.
Sounds good.
All right, so it's gonna be over to you.
Cool. You do your conversion points.
Oh, yep, thank you.
I also score 4 because Corn Berserkers are object, I assume. And we're off to the races. I have nothing in my command phase, but I do get my cool CP, my precious CP, which I guess we don't have to spend thinking about. That's very tough. Can these guys also heroic 6?
They do not have core, so no.
Gotcha. Can I heroic anything? I assume they at 6 or nothing, but maybe there's a difference.
Yeah.
Aeldari,
Yeah, no heroics.
your 1 wound and you are going to be sacrificed for 1 glorious final ride. My Dire Avengers.
Glorious.
Them
final
guys
ride.
gone.
All right,
Even
here comes the
disappeared.
Dire Avengers. They're coming to avenge all these fallen Eldar that we've seen today. And I don't think they have too much work to do to dig Eldar out of this hole. Obviously, the World Eaters have scored a ton of points here, but they only have basically 10. I think they're only representing currently. I guess they are representing 10 on Blood Gods do. If they split up their scoring. Oh, excuse me, chat. But other than that, and they'll continue to tick up. Or excuse me, that's Pile of the Skulls. They'll continue to tick up Blood Gods do for losing the Berserkers. But these Dire Avengers, 3 units of Dire Avengers should be able to kill all these Berserkers. The remaining Wind Riders should be able to kill most likely the spawn in the middle. And that's going to leave essentially like 5-8 bound and a couple Jackals to mop up the rest. And I think that will be... They'll be unable to do so. But we'll see. Anything can happen, really.
I think there might be an enemy around. I'm not sure.
I think there's someone here.
I can tell you. Baharoth wants to fly over here. He wants to be in the deployment zone and outside of 6 of these guys.
These guys can't heroic. They can't heroic. They're not core.
Never mind. Then he wants to just be exactly where he is.
And that is the downside of the Exalted 8 bound. Got those slightly better stats.
Is he going to shoot and fly away?
No core for them.
He's going to shoot and stand still.
Is he going to charge and fly away?
Well, he has to be in the deployment zone to score points, so he's giving up on life, I think.
Okay. Fair enough.
I guess this guy's maybe better off doing it on the objective because of this rhino. Sure. Yeah, he'll be on the objective, scouting the enemy. And then we have lots of berserkers that need to die. You should die everywhere. That's what Dire Avengers are for. I guess these guys come at the end of the phase, but I'll put them here for now just so I know. 3 9 inches. And 9 inches. Oh, can't see him. Right there. You go right here. And 4 dudes. Probably looks like this. anything for this. No, that's the deployment zones. I want that. I want reserves. There. Guys, sit right in here. So, hit a bit shielded. Measuring range wise, we seem fine. Actually, bubble this out a little more. Right there. That ought to be enough. Never really know. Got one more dire runner squad that could audible in one direction or another. These guys want to have both targets available, so they can be in range of most guys. 2 inches.
Yeah, dire
here.
Avengers, more like dire
Couple of options. Warlock really doesn't have much going
sweepers.
on, I'm afraid. He
Got him.
could advance. Keep going.
Any list like this that has 30 dire Avengers needs to play the Avengers theme song anytime they come out of strategic reserve.
So I guess you could hit them. You will do. Be 18 inches away, which is right here.
Oh, is the clock paused?
It is. I don't know why. Oh, it's being set. If I click this button. Oh, it's trying to set the clock. How do I unset it? Oh, I reset it. That's not right.
Oh,
Trevi.
we'll let Trevi handle that. You keep doing your thing.
Okay. I don't know how to work it. I'll be honest.
I don't either.
He wants to be 18 minutes away. It's right there.
Just set.
Time is a strange,
Anywhere.
mystical thing.
Yeah, that's for Zinch to deal with, not for us.
I'm not sure why they keep pausing the clock here, Sean.
If you can't be, you just want to be within 3. Not that it really matters. We have these cannon bikes. Cannon bikes want to wander that direction and spray fire down on both those guys. Question is, if they move 16, could some of them shoot at the 8 band? Some, not all. If I draw a little line here, flying tool, on this guy's little axie thing, I was too far zoomed in to do this. Right there. Carry that straight. It's not a way to carry it straight. I'm just going to move this. These guys, they move 16. They're trying to grab line of sight.
Your line of sight is a wonderfully stupid thing.
It is rather dumb. I really think they should go to. I used to play War Machine, so line of sight was like measured by like the base sizes determined it very like linearly, and then you'd have to deal with it. But that's an argument for a different time. And then we have a Farseer here who wants to come help. This
Already
is a
fixed
bit
the
of a
clock.
surge. Oh, thank God. Is the clock ticking now? Yes. Thank you, Trevi. Sorry for the interruption. This lady can
Despicable.
move. She can advance. She'll probably do. We'll advance up to here. This Warlock Skyrunner feels a
All
tad
right.
silly.
Fix the
Running
issue
other
here,
places
chat.
to be.
And we're back to watching Eldar
They're
shoot
probably going down here
shurikens
to
at
help.
world
We got
leaders.
22.
So going for shots on the 8 band. We had some
Over
incredible, I
here,
think,
yeah.
over the
There's
weekend at
probably
my
more
event.
than
We
they
had some
really need to
incredible
go.
discussions about True Line of Sight come up. There was some real good stuff. Some real good stuff happened. Because we had USO layouts and they had like low wall. The walls were kind of low, and they had gaps in them, but they had ruled that first floor was line of sight blocking, but not all the gaps were in the first floor. So you had some gaps that were second floor. So you had units that were tall. So I played against like Imperial Knights, and we had to ask so many questions about how like line of sight could be traced from like the top of an armature down to the bottom of a model, but ignoring the gaps that existed, like that you could see through. And they were like weird ones where like a Carnifex, despite being like theoretically visible through a wall, like ended up being invisible. And it was just true line of sight at its finest. It was really good. Like because of the way that Carnifex's tail bent, it like bent beneath the gaps that were treated as line of sight blocking, and so like it ended up being hidden.
Yeah, they're
really just like really crappy, really crappy interactions.
I made with
Not that like my opponent was, myself and my opponent were like, totally
Yeah.
cordial about it. It wasn't contentious, but we were both like, this is very annoying.
I mean, there are some
I wish we could just have a rule that told us so we didn't have to ask the judge. 10th edition though. Hopefully we get some 10th edition announcements and we get new rules and we get no true line of sight. Please God.
And this terrain is not very helpful to them, but it's not difficult, but it's the only thing they care about. Their max move, and they just want to be fairly within 18.
Mhm.
Right here. They will think back over here. Looks grand. And then I have this one Warlock Skyrunner and a Farseer. Farseer, I guess it's not from there. The Skyrunner, it has very little to do. It's quite awkward. I guess you could force people to come out to the middle. That's probably their move. So they'll just fly out to the middle. Force someone to come kill them with their whole body. Because if they want to do it, then that's what you gotta do. This one Farseer wants to within 18 of these guys, so she can wander there and do it. She would love to be at sort of 24. Is this guy able to project the deny?
Spawn?
Yeah.
Let me check the strat real quick. Maybe within any World Eaters unit, and I believe the spawn does have the World Eaters keyword.
That's good. So she needs to be more than 24 inches away from him. Just right there. So just tap the objective and be 24.2 away from all World Eater units, and within 18 of that Jetbike squad. And one last Harbinger unit. And the question of whether I want to take it down here or over here.
Jace Fielder of Mysteries, thanks for the follow.
Probably get 9 inches from you. And I get my thing back. Oh, it's already here. I never got rid of it. 18 for line of sight. We want to go that direction. And more people tap in this thing. 3 who can't. One of them does want to be the Exarch, though. And then we're off to the races. Okie doke, I think that's our 3 reserve units. I think that's everyone moved. Let's do some magic. Start this Warlock. He's thrown a smite. He is successfully smiting. Stop me, by the way, at any time if you want to interrupt, but I assume you're waiting for or him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good. Smite goes for 3 damage. I think it hits these berserkers.
Okay. 3 6-up feel no pains.
Yep.
I will take 2.
Eat.
Think.
Link up a guy.
We'll just take out this guy.
Eat. We'll do this Warlock right here. He'll probably toss a smite as well. Shoot. That goes off onto the spawn. Blast the spawn for 3 mortal wounds.
3. Let me see how his regeneration thing works.
That's good. I'll pass it to you. What you're thinking.
Yeah, only when you shoot and fight, so he will take. He'll be down to 1 wound.
He regenerates wounds when he is shot and not killed or something?
Yeah, when he's shot and not killed or fought and not killed. Doesn't say anything about
Psychic and not killed.
psychics.
Cool. That's our 2 Warlocks. We have 2 Farseers. This Farseer will attempt to give me a CP. She does. Yay. And then she'll attempt to guide. And this, I think I will spend my 6 on to make sure it goes off. And we will guide. Where I put my guide token right here. The Cannon Bikes or the Dire Avengers. I think we actually went on the Dire Avengers.
Mhm.
And I assume she's within 18 of them. So I actually don't know why I did all the measuring. And then we'll go over to this Farseer, and she will cast Doom, which does go off. That one's reroll wounds if you want to try and deny that one. Up to you, really.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and spend 1 CP for that, and
Might as well.
so on a 4-up, deny it. Roll
Tragedy every time.
2 1s every time.
I think Doom is still over here. Yeah, this guy. And she will Doom this 5-man spot right here. And then her Fortune feels rather silly because these guys get blown up, so she'll throw a Smite. But she does go off. I think it has to be more than a 10 to be big, so it's just a regular one. But she also rolls a 3 Smites. Yeah, looks like
To purple
Guys.
spot? Yep.
Yeah,
3
3
6 ups. Up. So 1 guy will die because 1 was wounded. Then we'll take out this guy. All right.
And then we do shooting.
Yep.
We'll start with people who have range issues, which is not really anyone. Kind of puts us in a weird spot, but start with the Warlock. So if the Warlock shoots this guy and doesn't kill him, does he regenerate with it?
Yeah, I think so. You should shoot him.
That is cute. I guess we'll come back there. We'll start with the D cannons. This back D cannon will shoot those guys. Actually, he's probably better option than these guys. Sure, I'll shoot the orange guys.
Okay.
Number of shots is 1. Hits on a 3.
Not that.
Yeah, misses. And then the front D cannon will shoot the same target. Number of shots is also 1. And he will also miss. Not their day. Then we'll do this parts here. If these guys gonna have an issue with range, they are. They go too far. So I guess we do have to do them first. The Dire Avengers, I think, should really overwhelm this, but they will split fire, and they're gonna drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guns here and 4 guns there.
Okay.
7 guns into those 3 berserkers. Wow, that's way too much. I think we'll actually go 6 and 5.
Okay.
All right, so 3 shots a guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guns. Fire. Rerolling from guide is reroll right there. These guys miss. These guys auto wound. Wounding on 4 or T4, right?
Yeah, T4.
And rerolling from Doom. We're looking at 6 AP2s and this many AP.
5 ups. So let's save that, and then I just take these, and 6 up feel no pain.
Sounds good.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're dead.
And then the other guys, we have 5 of them, so that's just an even 15 shots. Ooh. That should be the right amount, but I'll make sure. 15, yep. So hitting on 3s, rerolling off of guide, wounding on 4s, no reroll this time. We're looking at those guys auto wound, and those guys.
I think 1 guy, no guys in cover. So is the AP2, so 5 ups. So I'll take 3, and then these will just be the feel no pains.
Sounds good.
So 6 up feel no pain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 guys will die. I'll leave the eviscerator.
Neat. This Viper will shoot his 1 assault cannon, or assault gun, which is just the shotgun catapult, his main gun he can shoot for the advance. Hitting on 4s, because of the aforementioned advancing. 1 auto wound, wounding on 4. Nope, just 1 AP3.
1 AP3, so 6 up. Damage.
1.
1. 6 up. Nope.
Blink. Not tragically, I don't know what doing 1 damage to him does.
Need that guy to
here we are.
survive with that guy. He could blow up a
We'll
Viper by
these
himself. That'd be
cannon
pretty cool.
bikes. And we'll split off 1 bike into him, and the rest of the bike into the 8-pound.
Okay.
And don't think we give them any health. So I guess yeah, sure. We'll give them 6s to hit explode. They roll these dice. They have 3 shots into our local 1 wound Corn Berserker, hitting on 3s, 1 miss, wounding on 3s, 1 wound, AP1.
To the wounded guy.
Into the wounded guy.
AP1, so 4 up. It's the last of the shooting into him, right?
The Farseer has yet to go.
Okay, he's just gonna die to her then.
Yeah, she has a mortal wound gun, so she's pretty well equipped. And then everyone else is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Hitting on 3s, no 6s, and wounding on 3s.
And this is into
The 8 bound. So we're looking at 4 AP3s and 3 AP1s. The 8 bound
AP3s and 3 AP1s, so on their it's all gonna be on their 4 ups.
Sounds good.
So these are 2 damage.
2 damage.
4 ups.
Oh, they
Okay.
kill it. They
And
absolutely
then-
savage that one.
Interesting thing about
2
that.
damage each.
That's right.
6 up damage ignore, yeah, is gonna kind of make this entire process a little painful. I kind of hope that World Eaters players don't get that 6 up damage ignore too early, so that they don't have the majority of their army left to roll damage ignores for once it comes around, once it becomes active. Because there's definitely going to be situations where killing a brick of 8 bound with a 6 up is going to be like a little awkward. Take a little while.
And my last CP to re-roll the battle focus. But I don't know anything else. I think it's worth it. Yeah, we'll spend our
Talk
last
about
CP to re-roll
favorite
the battle focus.
Jaces over
Start
here.
bigger, and then roll a 1, of course. Oh, we roll a 4. We get 2 more inches here. That goes down to.
I know you can reroll a battle focus roll.
How about
Yeah,
Mind
it used to be that you
Sculpt?
could,
That's the only one I know. And Cunning
make it a
Castaway.
6.
I know that one.
And that was too powerful. Now
Oh
it's-
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Shoot. Shoot.
09. And yeah. Nope.
They're up here. Okay. Then we have a Farseer who's shooting this Chaos Rhino.
Hey.
Rather irrelevant, so maybe she can spend her taunts here. I think we'll hold off on our hits if we don't mean him, so we'll just roll 3 hits. Shoots 1 auto wound, and then she needs 5 to wound. Oops, I rolled 1 on the face. I will do it again. Do you think that's the right thing to do? Or you want me to roll it on a D3 and figure out which one's
What were you wounding on 5s?
I went on 5, that's correct. And 6s are special.
6s does the 2 mortal wounds.
Yes, so he's taking 2 mortal wounds no matter what, because that rolled to
Just
hit.
say reroll it. That's whatever.
That's good. So she needs 5s, he gets
Okay.
1 more. So it does 4 total mortal wounds.
4 total mortal wounds. Hey, guess what? It's the World Eaters unit, so it gets a 6 up.
Hey, good for it.
Takes 3.
Neat. And she advanced, she cannot battle focus.
Okay.
And then we land over here, and we'll just shoot.
Favorite 40k faction. Well, for me, it's Tyranids for
I did
sure.
awkwardly do this interesting thing with my range. We'll shoot this.
Truant
squad,
is Aeldari.
everyone at these blue guys, and the one guy's out of range of the other guys.
Mhm.
Is he going to take even more people out of range? I guess not really. No. Okay. So they have 33 shots, so 30 of them go into blue guys.
Mhm.
Wounding on 3s, 6 auto wound, wounding on 4s. So that many AP2s. Of course, these guys are AP4
Into blues.
and the blues.
Death
And
Guard, that's
AP2s, so 5
respectable.
ups.
Death Guard's pretty sweet.
And then a bunch of 6 ups.
Well, Jace,
You're
welcome
dead.
to the game. Hope you're having a good time so far.
And then he has 1 solo shot into green, which gets just 1 auto wound. So 1 AP4 into green.
1 AP4 in the green. I think one guy's in cover.
Cover.
Yeah, we'll take it on this guy, so he gets a 6 up at least.
Neat.
Nope. Oh, 6 up, feel no pain.
Oh.
Nope.
And then the other guys will shoot all their shots into them. They have an even 33, 25, 30 plus 3. You. These guys go away. These guys on a wound. Doing enough force. So that many AP2s.
Yeah, we play just about every weekday. Today's a little bit of a of an odd duck because we have
get a 4
event
up on
finals
that,
that happen kind of whenever the players schedule them. So I'm beholden to the players for when those get scheduled. So today's a little bit of a weird one. But just about every weekday, I'll be streaming, usually around mid-afternoon Eastern time, so like 4 to 5 p.m., depending on when games get scheduled. That's part of the reason that it's tough to stream Warhammer Hammer is because you have to schedule with 2 people rather than just being able to go live. And then I stream on the YouTube on Tuesdays. So exclamation point links. You can find my link tree. I'm mostly on YouTube, but this is where all my gameplay goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll kill the squad.
Neat.
Okay.
And then do I dare with this stupid warlock? I probably don't.
You just use these Wind Riders.
Yeah, they want to split off enough fire to shoot these jackals to death, but I don't think it will require that much from them. So they will split fire. They will split 3 of them into the Chaos Spawn and 6 of them into those jackals. Into the Chaos Spawn.
This wild overcommit on the Chaos Spawn. It's hilarious. You can't not kill that thing when you shoot it because it will
Does
heal.
Chaos Spawn actually have an invul save?
No. He gets a field of pain, though.
Jace, thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Never mind. Screw this. We'll shoot.
Yeah, I usually have new content up on the YouTube over on our main YouTube 3-4 times a week, and then all of the VODs go on the second YouTube channel. We do VODs and like little videos and random thoughts and stuff. That's just kind of where random things go.
It feels like way overkill. All their shots.
But if you want to see other gameplay videos, those are all there. That's youtube.com/tacticaltouristv. Same as the Twitch channel.
3 into the Chaos Rhino.
Who's shooting?
I guess as long as 3 can 2, yeah. 3 of these guys will shoot the Chaos Rhino. The rest of them are shooting these jackals.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3 into the Chaos Rhino. Whoops. Come back, guys. Come on, guys. Here you go. The dice disappeared. Here we go. Chaos Rhino is on an objective, so they reroll 1s. These guys miss. These guys auto wound. And they win on 5s. Well, they do a great job. Bunch of AP3s.
Bunch of AP3s. Since the jackals?
No, this is the Chaos Rhino.
Oh, the Rhino. Bunch of AP3s, so 6 ups.
Neat.
And 6s again.
Neat.
That'll take 4.
Blink, blink, blink. Blink. And then there are 6 of 5 of them, right? I did. What did I just do? Holy shit. How many dice did I just roll? Prospero. I don't remember, so I'm going to assume it's a smaller number. I think I just did 4 or 3 into the Chaos Rhino. I cannot recall. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I think Operation Mop Up has been mostly successful here, chat.
Jackals are not on an objective.
I think as we were sort of anticipating.
So 3 go 3.
Yeah, Eldar come out swinging out of the strategic reserve, just blow everything up.
And
take a final count of the kills at the end here. The Harith being alive is kind of unfortunate for him too.
6 up saves. So.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they get 6 ups. And then 6 up feel no pains. So 4 guys will die. And then 6 ups. 6 up feel no pains.
Yeah, I had a little bit of an epiphany the other day, Chan. It's just like if Khorne cares from not where the blood flows, right?
So that
it's weird that
1, 2, 3, 4,
Khorne units
6,
are
7,
like
8, 9, 10.
melee. Because I feel like you're much more efficient at bloodletting with like an attack helicopter or something, right? Like a guy with an axe, you know, he can axe some people, some questions, and he can also be axed himself more easily, which like kind of makes sense. But you really want like an industrialized bloodletting, right?
Okay. AP2, so on their 4 ups.
Like a slaughterhouse does a lot more bloodletting than like a dude with an axe trying to fight people.
So one guy will take a damage, take another, and then die.
Maybe it's an honor thing.
Oh no. Okay. So
Corn doesn't feel that honorable though. I
that
don't
would
know.
kill the
Maybe he
one guy.
is.
This would wound the other one and then finish him off. Just seems fun.
One remains. Now Devara trusts himself to kill that guy. He can try. So he'll stay. He won't teleport. This guy can't shoot because he's doing an action. I think I've shot everything. So it's just
Harris
time
charging
to
here with
charge.
no
That one guy.
CP
Bavrov will charge that one
available.
guy. Go, Bavrov.
Yeah, like a
Alright.
gunshot wound is
Fine
one
engines.
thing, right? But like, what about a flechette rocket? You know, like why are we shooting like one gun at someone? Why aren't we blazing away with chain cannons or something?
It's attacked. Fuse. One explosion. And then he's strength 5 in melee, so 4 is in melee. Oh, he fails with everything.
Oh, martial
Four.
honor. There you go. Yeah, shotguns, right? Shotguns, chat. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So Bearth just flubbed out immensely on that 8-bound champion.
On board, though. Well,
At least he
good
gets the
effort there,
bounce out,
Bavrov.
so he doesn't
Good
get in.
time. I think that's
Doesn't
all
get
of
hit
our time.
back.
I know prisoners is something that we'll figure out. We definitely get a conversion. Behind enemy lines will trigger this turn.
Real Louder Boy,
Got
thanks
the
for
being worked on.
hanging out
Over to you,
and
my
for
friend.
the follow.
Okay.
Appreciate you coming and joining. We're having a good time over here today.
Blood for the blood god.
That is some
Oh, you have end of turn.
shotgun
scoring stuff, right?
axes. There you
Yeah.
go, chat.
So I got
Real Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter, like energy, right? He had a shotgun axe, right? I've never seen that movie.
Blood gods do. So, and then blood for the blood god, I would have gotten 4, so that'd be 5. Pile of skulls. Go ahead and spend the 3 for 5 there for 9.
So the World Eaters continuing to tick up secondaries, but we have a lot of casualties here. Yeah. So taking a tally of what we lost, all 4 Corn Berserker squads. 2 Exalted 8-bound and 1 Jackal unit. Could have been worse. I actually expected a little worse. At the very least, these rhinos sit here and just continue to contest objectives. We need this 8-bound to kill this Warlock Skyrunner, basically, to prevent the primary from ticking up. But it doesn't seem like World Eaters have a way to prevent the
You too, Rhino. I believe in you.
Aeldari from scoring primary
You
here
too, 8-bound. I believe in you.
in the late game.
Not you, 8-bound. I don't
think
believe
these strategic reserves are just going to walk on objectives this coming turn. We'll knock Prospero down to a 4-point primary, but then I think the 12s start rolling in. I think it gets a little bit awkward. That secondary objective score, that is impressive for World Eaters. The problem is keeping them around, I think.
I think just for the memes, we will go ahead and get the jackals in there.
Get those memes in there.
Yeah, tally what's left, for sure.
Just 'cause,
Yeah, and I guess also to be fair, on the secondary objective, on the subject of secondary objectives, we have not yet tallied no prisoners, which should be, I think, is just at max. Should we just throw our Exalted 8-bound across 2?
Warlock Skyrunner definitely dies. These guys try and make it 12, I guess. And then people die, probably, right?
Oh, we might be talking it out actually here, champ.
So if you get, if you just spend all your blood tide points, right, you can set out your blood tides, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get. This.
Yeah, this
is
is
max.
moving into
Conversion
top of
for sure.
3.
You scored a 4 this turn.
And something will. Well, I don't think anything else is gonna die on that. Well,
That guy will, for sure.
these guys will die, and then next turn you'll kill him, so there'll be 2 for Blood Gods Do, and then there'll be 2 characters dead, so I'll get 4 for that. And then that's pretty much it.
Sounds good. And I think you go up, you said 14 on no prisoners. Not that I guess my score super matters. It will look like a second 4. And then probably this, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
and will be a conversion for 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, I'll get that just for killing the guy in the center. And that'll be
4, I think, on the final turn. And then behind the enemy line will be a 12. With everything but the first turn. Got the enemy will be.
you'll get 2 here, and then the rest can be in my deployment zone.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be turn 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I did nothing on turn 1. Nothing on turn 2.
I do wonder if a lot of World Eaters players are excited about this faction, mostly for the fact that the games do take this long. I mean, we played about, looking at the clock here, about half of a normal game of 40k. We run on 90-minute chess clocks, so players get an hour and a half to play. And this game was over in 90 of that, less than. We did have a little bit of a hiccup there with the clock. The players reset the clock by accident earlier.
I think the only thing you have trouble with, like, guard artillery.
I really like guard artillery, and I've never faced them, but I assume Dark Angels are very strong against everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, guard artillery sucks, but I hate it. Yeah,
Well, if anybody has any questions to the players, go ahead and throw them in the chat here while we wrap things up.
I have a really deep deployment zone, so I can kind of hide in the back.
Yeah. I think being able to get all the corners and stuff where you're able to just fly around and shoot around them.
Yeah, I imagine actually
Really
being able to
sucked.
deploy in the back and then still being able to move 22 means that like I don't suffer that much. Like if guard did this, they would never get out of there. I don't know. Believe in Rust are pretty fast, but
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, and the corner thing makes it awkward because I have to go around everybody.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Rangers are good though. I keep thinking about taking them out because they don't do anything, but stuff like
No,
this.
they did quite a bit.
The next incarnation of this list also doesn't have Osterman, but this makes me think that he's worth it.
Yeah, that guy
And-
does seem tailor-made for killing specifically 8-bound. Like his
Yes.
profile is like literally perfect.
Yeah.
He's like 1 AP higher than you need, I guess, but okay.
Oh, wasted value.
I think I would have liked, so if I had the Chaos Light Raider, I probably would have, turn 1, just parked him right there, and that way my the Exalted 8-bound can do something where they just sit right there. So one guy starts in there. The list I made now, 5-man starts in there. They can jump out and run out, and then the Exalted 8-bound all start back here. One guy, 1 unit advances, jumps in, and then they run out, and then they just kind of like diving board jump out. Yeah.
Reload and fire.
Um,
Something good with your secondaries too, which are very strong.
yeah, but I mean, like, other than that, like, I don't know what else I could have done differently besides, like,
I think it's really difficult, especially when you build the whole list around that Alpha Strike. If like a list doesn't get Alpha Strike for whatever reason, it seems like you lose a lot of value.
Yeah, we do have some questions from chat here.
Yeah.
About whether or not, maybe given how well the Eldar was like insulated, Roboshark, if you were to replay the situation, if you'd like pregame moved this way and then just put all the 8-bound basically like here and here on the first turn, and then just had like.
So I think
Run
if
at me,
I
though.
pre-gamed here, he could have easily, because he still had a Phantasm, which you didn't. What'd you use your Phantasm for?
I didn't Phantasm at all.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I guess that is fair, yeah. Because if you pregame move this way, so you're not threatening this at all,
And
then
go
he Phantasms
here.
here, and then he runs you.
Yeah,
right
he
that's what
he
you call it.
Phantasms forwards and then just runs up and then shoots all these guys. I think it's mostly just this map really benefits being able to go fast because anywhere I try and hide, he can quickly redeploy with Phantasm and redeploy 3 units and then just fly out.
Yeah.
And
Does that work? Does the ordering work correctly? Do you Phantasm after pregame moving or the other way around?
it's all the pregame stuff. The
It all
first
goes at the
player
same
goes
time, you go
first.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's all in pre-battle abilities, which
Gotcha.
starts with the player going first. So
Yeah, that is sitting pretty strong.
Yeah.
Redeploys are very good these days.
And this, like I said, this is the first list I made. So like the first pod I ran with this list, and as I ran through the last 3 games, I was like, I don't want 2 more Jackals because the Jackals are kind of garbage. because they don't.
Chaos Spawn do it better.
Yeah, Chaos Spawn do what they do, but 100 times better and 10 times cheaper. And I don't do the 5-man squads anymore because it's just overkill.
Yeah, I don't imagine
of,
anything they don't kill.
Yeah, like a 3-man squad would be more than enough if they could have gotten to grips with the Wind Riders. They could have a Berserker squad picked up.
4 Corn Berserkers almost did it on their own.
Yeah. The other thing is, if I played this less, if I did play it more passively, I'm also going to blame the fact that I just got done finishing a GT, so I've literally played 5 games of real life Warhammer. So I jumped straight into this. So I think if I had these guys here, the Rhino kind of sits back here. If he gets shot, it's whatever.
It takes a lot of effort to kill a Rhino.
Get this asshole out of here. This guy, he could probably stay. Probably put him back here or something. Get out of here. Do something like that. And then I can't really mess with this terrain at all because the way this the wall is slanted, so it's very easy for you to just run out here and shoot me. And then just kind of, I think, and I could have pregame moved and then just pregame moved like 4 inches forward to hide behind this wall. I probably should have done that. And at that point, the spawn just runs out, you kill him, and it's just kind of, at that point,
that your secondaries are so much better than mine, and also I have to kill you to score no prisoners. It puts you in a weird place because you always have the very aggressive melee army, but you also are not the one that you win the status quo if we stay in our defense and like send 1 unit out to an objective at a time.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no, right? Because all those secondaries are contingent on people dying.
That's true. That is true.
So, like, the secondaries are really good, but if no one dies, then they're really bad. It's not like banners or something where it just ticks.
Yeah. I mean, I probably...
The Jackal unit can run out onto an objective and die, and like, sure, whatever, scores points.
Yeah,
I think you have to kill stuff to get the last one, whatever the blood goes.
Yeah, but then the awkward thing is Baharoth flies in and starts killing and just being a nuisance. Asterman runs in and, like, he'll fight for 1 turn, kill a bunch of 8-bound or something. And then, sure, he'll die the next turn, but he already just picked up an 8-bound squad by himself. And now I have to...
7 8-bound this game? 8 8-bound?
Yeah.
On his own?
Something like that.
Yeah, he got 8, I think.
And then, yeah, I think maybe just more Rhinos and Berserkers, because the Berserkers just, like, they just do so much for 120 points.
Well, it's transports, man. Like, being able to force someone to order to activate in order to delete a transport and then delete what comes out is such a problem.
Do what now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, ordering activated. So, like, I struggle with transports because I have to commit a 180-point unit to fly up and kill the transport, which maybe one-shots it, maybe doesn't, but let's say it does. Then another unit has to come up right behind them and be able to draw a line of sight to whoever jumps out. And that means if you're, like, around this, like, if you're standing, like, right here, a unit that wants to shoot whoever comes out has to be able to see both here and here, which is very challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also, I think they have an even more interesting interaction with warriors because a lot of times the game plan is like to move something fast up right next to it and then to shoot it to death and then to charge the disembarked unit. But then the berserkers just fight on death and annihilate with you. So you're like, can't win. You have to shoot them all. And if you can't kill all 3 units in one go, then you basically haven't done that much anyway.
And I wonder if you don't want it to die anyway, so that you can get the 3 extra inches from emergency disembarking directly towards someone, honestly.
Yeah, if it's their last shot, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because then you're doubling the movement of a berserker just to deploy 6 inches away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if I were to do this again with the list I'm running now, so like Land Raider right there. Which I mean the fact that you auto one sucks.
It's very
you know, Rhino there. The 5-man 8-bound are in the Rhino, and then the exalted 8-bound just sit back here. You have the spawn here, like obviously switch back a little bit. The spawn there, like I don't know, there, whatever. And then a spawn here for when all the 8-bound run off. Or maybe you can just sit right there, because by the time the last 8-bound runs off, it's probably turn 5. so like it's not that big of a deal. And you have the 3 8-bound squad, or the 2 3-mans right there with avocado, something right here, or something like that, whatever.
Anything at all you can do to make the exalted 8-bound hit is game changing. Because if they ever land and then no fallbacks on one, it just is such a pain. That alone can win a game if you do it right. Like,
yeah. So like this Land Raider full of exalted 8-bound, just sit right here and you can take this objective, but I will murder you. And then I can probably do the same thing. I probably do the same thing right here, and I just like send out Corn Berserkers every other turn or something like that, or just drive it up, whatever.
Are there other questions, Trevi?
I think that was mostly it.
Neat.
Well, thanks you guys. Congratulations on both of you for getting here, and Prospero, obviously, congratulations on taking it down.
I'm just happy to be in the finals.
I'm proud of you. I know you can.
Yeah. With an army that scores 1 million points.
Yeah.
I don't think world leaders are that like OP. I think they're very hard to pilot against some of the best armies.
Well, they do score 1 million points though.
That helps.
Whether or not that actually means they win is a question, but I think they will win with a high score, basically regardless, or they will end with a high score.
Just not high secondaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they also give up secondaries like all day too, right? Because you're like always giving up no prisoners, basically.
Do I run 2 Land Raiders?
3 Land Raiders and Angron. Let's go.
All right.
Oh boy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks.
Have
See ya.
Have a great night.
All right, chats. That's it for us today. Thanks for tuning in late night Sunday 40K. Really appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow with normal stuff. I think I'll just play some games probably. Might do more Tyranids. I did just get some more Tyrant Guard IRL this weekend, so I might play the Tyrant Guard list again. Maybe branch off into something new. I'm thinking about playing Hive Tyrant lists. I don't know. And just seeing how it goes. It feels kind of bad, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll see you around. So tune in tomorrow, normal time. Tactical Tuesday. I think Tuesday I may not stream. It is likely I do not do a Tactical Tuesday this week. I said it last week, but just because Adepticon's around the corner and we are leaving basically like first thing on Wednesday. So Tuesday is going to be a lot of work for me. So I may not be able to stream on Tuesday at all. The rest of the week obviously is going to be taken up by Adepticon. We're traveling Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend we'll be there. If anyone is at Adepticon, please come hang out with me. I'm going to be in the Breachstorm booth 924, I believe is the booth number. And I'm going to be there all weekend hanging out. I may pop in and say hi to people, say hi to War Games Live and everyone in the Champions event. But I'm psyched. I think it's going to be a sweet weekend. Anyway, thanks for all the new folks in there, the new faces in the chat. Really, really nice to see you. And I will see you around. Until then, we'll go raiding with someone. Who's on Warhams today? Someone is streaming in the Warhammer, but they're just watching YouTube videos. That's okay. We'll do a little review here. All right, what do we got? Survey says this is just age reckoning. What is happening? Oh, these are tags. Excuse me. This isn't the Warhammer category. It has to be the category. You got to commit to the bit. No games going on. Yeah, this person's just watching YouTube videos. Okay. We got some Tau happening. It's a Darkstrider. Wheel of Minis. Last stream before Adepticon from Skelebi. We'll go hang out with Skelebi. That's fun. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Live gameplay is a little tough to find. I always stream live gameplay if I can find it, if it's on there, and I'll always stream TTS or I'll raid live gameplay if it's on, and I'll raid TTS gameplay if it's there. But yeah, there aren't too many people on Twitch streaming games. It's just tough. Warhammer's a tough game to stream, to be honest. I would like to stream more of it, but man, is it a nightmare. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for me tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your weekend, and good night.